Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day one of a brand new week. The Inte research event is over, and we need to wrap things up from the event right before we can move on into getting into what's coming up next. But we are going to start with 99 sleep points, almost 100, not quite, but that is going to give us 8,414 in total. And for the daily lottery, let's see. We're going to get 10 more diamonds. Very nice. I do need those diamonds. Sort of considering buying another Inte bundle before it's over, since the exchange shop does last until Thursday. So getting some more mains may not be the worst thing. But let's jump into this sleep report and see what happens first. I did decide to go ahead and do a thing for science. I did use my Inte incense. I'm not gonna try to buy the biscuits, I don't think, unless I'm just get in the moment and I get swept up and, you know, Inte just really entices me. But my plan is to not try to catch it, but just to see if we can get the 3-star. That's all I really want, is to try to get the 3-star and see what we get out of it. With an 8% dozing, 37% snoozing, and 55% slumbering. Wow, my sleep was all over the place. Anyway, so that's definitely going to be a slumbering type, which is not good for getting more mains, but maybe we'll get a Totodile, which could be very helpful going forward with Suicune coming up, since that's what we are looking out on the horizon for now. We do get the 1.5 times Drowsy Power multiplier, which is 266,840,000. Just because I am curious to see how well all of you did, let me know in the comments below what Drowsy Power score you got today. And while you're there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am trying to get to 1,000, at which point I've got a special surprise for you guys. Only about 40%, only about 60% of you that watch the videos are subscribed, about 40% are not. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you're down there and let me know what your Drowsy Power was for today. And let's see if we got any kind of lucky. We did get one 3-star that was normal. So let's see what happens with the incense. Hopefully it's what I want and it wasn't a wasted incense, because that would be really unfortunate if it was. I'm not gonna lie, I thought about using the Raikou incense too, but I probably should have, but something just told me not to. Ooh, that's a 1-star Inte. Hopefully that's a natural spawn and we get, hopefully that was not the the incense. There is one new sleep style, so maybe we just got lucky and got a natural spawn and the incense. So let's see. We've got an Inte, we've got a Riolu, a Krogunk, a Swalot, a Charmeleon, a Squirtle, a Wynot, and a Weepinbell. No Totodile. Well, let's see. There's still one new sleep style. No, there's the Inte that we've already seen. Ooh, upside down Magneton. So it wasn't the 3-star Inte. So I've clicked on you twice, 3 times. Oh, you actually have to click below it on the shadow. Very weird. Upside down Magnezone Sleep. I said Magneton, I think. So unfortunately, the incense was kind of wasted. Did not get the 3-star like I was hoping for. So that is unfortunate. And the Inte was not shiny, so not a guaranteed catch. So the only way I'm going to feed this Inte is if it's hungry, and I'm only going to give it a Poke Biscuit to try for the critical capture. Outside of that, it's not hungry. So yeah, I'm not gonna spend mains trying to catch another one when there's no guarantee that it's going to be any good. Let's see. We have 763 mains currently. We will get a little bit more. Yeah, no, I don't want to spend the mains on it. I could be really goofy and throw a Master Ball at it. I could, because I'm not going to spend Inte biscuits. I want to save the mains for other stuff. Swalot I don't need. Wynot I don't need. Really don't need anything. Yeah, nothing here is really jumping out. I mean, the Magnezone would be nice, but I need a Magnemite. I'd rather evolve it to get the extra levels on the main skill. Man, what do we even give this bonus biscuit to? really don't know. Maybe the Riolu? Maybe? I think I need a better one. Yeah, let's just give it to the Riolu. And you know what? It's dumb, but it's for the video. Let's do it. Let's just throw a Master Biscuit at the final Entei. We'll have 2 more Master Biscuits by the time Suicune rolls around. So I'll have 3. Let's just see and hope that this one's good. Be good to me, Entei. I used a Master Biscuit on 2 of you. I don't know what else I would use a Master Biscuit on anyway. There doesn't really seem to be much in the game worth using Master Biscuits on other than legendaries because of how many resources it takes to catch them. So, let's see and let's hope that it's good. And just for the final day, let's go ahead and send out some more Entei candy. Total of 84 mains from today's research. That's pretty good, pretty good. I wasn't expecting to get anywhere close to 100. But we did get 6,738 research XP converted to dream shards and another 20,556 dream shards. Very nice, about 27,000 total, which is what we spent on Blastoise yesterday, so that works out. All right, our final Entei of the event. Let's see. Please be good to me. I was silly. Brave. Is Brave good? I don't remember. I confused it with Adamant for a moment, and now that I've confused it with Adamant, I can't think of what it actually is. But we did get all the ingredients, so that's good. I like having that spread on skill specialists. Inventory up, ingredient finder, those are so far okay. Ingredient finder's not great. Helping speed is good, but it looks like we're not getting a skill level up. Research XP bonus. It looks like this Entei was not nice to us. Skill trigger at level 100. The nature, speed of help up. Speed of help up, nature is pretty good. XP gains down is kind of bad, but this may be okay. All right, let's see. Let's see just how good or bad this Entei is. So far, better than the others, but we'll see if it stays that way. Helping speed M at level 50 is helping pretty substantially. Again, the only downside is with this Entei, with no skill level ups, it's going to take a lot of seeds to make it worthwhile. A lot of main skill seeds at that. So, may not be the best. And I think it's going to end up looking very similar to the other Entei, the second Entei that we caught. That it could be better than the first one, but it's going to take substantially more investments to make it that good. And I don't know how good it could possibly be. Come on, we just need that last level. Really, the only things we want to use the sub-skill seed on would be skill trigger at level 100, but having to wait till level 100 to get skill trigger kind of sucks. And then we'd have to use 5 main skill seeds to get it to level 6. Outside of any event boosts, Entei has just not been kind to me. Certainly not like Raikou was. Got very lucky with Raikou catching a very good one on the second one, but this Entei, the third one, PR76, at the end of its life at a level 100, yeah, that does make sense. I think the speed of help is doing a lot of work. Let's see. 1.225 expected skill triggers on average from this Entei. And for the top tier, and this is at level 1, for top tier Entei, it's 1.317. So not a huge difference. Not even a 10% difference between the top and the one we have now at level 1. Let's check level 50 when we get the helping speed. Significantly higher difference. 1.541 is what ours will look like versus 2.403 for the top tier Entei. So yeah, and it looks like careful and sassy are definitely what we want for an Entei, and we did not get that. Speed of help does help, but not as much as that main skill chance, seemingly. Yeah, so this is going to be a situation where we just have to compare all three of them. Need to go into production comparison, compare all three of them, see which one, what they're going to look like at certain level breakpoints, and then also how much investment it's going to take to get them to a usable point if we plan to use them. So I'm going to save it, and we'll move on, and we'll start looking to the horizon for what's up next. I already have some plans on what we need to do and what we're going to do. But before we can get into that, we do need to get the weekly summary out of the way. All right, let's go ahead and move on. The weekly summary for week 45. Master 17. So that's a new record. We did actually get higher than we got last week, but last week stopped making meals towards the end of the week. This one just kind of wanted to push just to see what I could get to. So we did get to Master 7 with 1,796,906 final strength. 541,474 gains from berries, and 1,130,400 gains from cooking. All thanks to the Inferno Corn Keema Curry. Did get an overall grade of A, which is surprising. I thought I was going to get a B since I had 2 nights where I went to sleep very late. But nope, got an A, got the 4 small handy candies, which is very nice. But now we have to look to the future. And we don't know what we're going to get for the 1-year anniversary. We don't know what event, what bonuses we're going to get. We don't know if we're going to get a new island. I assume we're going to get a new island for the 1-year anniversary. It'll be about time for a new one, but we don't know for sure. But one thing we do know for sure is that Suicune is coming up. And one thing that I know for sure I need for Suicune is a good Totodile. And where can I find a Totodile? At Cyan Beach. So we're going to go back to Cyan Beach. We do have a pretty decent area bonus here, but we're going to do things a little bit different. We're not going to be trying to get a very high score. I've gone through the spawn probability calculations, and it seems like the best chance for finding a Totodile is in the master ranks between 1 and 5, if I remember my calculations correctly. But we did get salads, which is kind of unfortunate, but it also will help with keeping the spawns where we want them. We don't want to get too high in strength. So salads are not bad. And then the berries, of course, are always set, so we don't ever have to worry about that. Everybody on the team got a little bit of a buff from the XP. That's good. But let's see what we got going on. It looks like no new news to be expected. But for our community reports, about 44 of them. Hey, nice. All right, with the final community reports from the Entei Sleep Research event, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 that doubled up, 7 of them being Entei candy. Very nice. And we've got a level up to go along with it. Can't beat that. 2 small ingredient tickets. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and collect these ingredients and see what we can make for breakfast. Skill trigger on you or Blastoise would be nice, but we didn't get it from Charizard. Did get it from Dragonair, so that's good. With some corn to go along with it. And we got a decent amount of oil. Not as much as I would like, but we don't really need oil all that much. Hey, skill trigger from Entei, very nice. Only ×3 though, because the event is over. And only got ×3 because the event had ended before he got that skill trigger, so had to have got it just a few hours ago. No skill trigger from Blastoise, but plenty of cocoa and a bit of milk to go along with it. Very nice. Everybody does have a little bit more. Let me go ahead and grab some of these berries. All right, and this week is going to be a week where we just level some other Pokemon up that we might have to get ready for Suicune, and not really going to put a lot of effort into it. Let me go ahead and show you. I've got these calculations running again, but this is the best probability of finding any Totodile is between What is this? Ooh, it actually looks slightly different than yesterday, but maybe that's because the event bonuses ended and maybe they were taken into account, but didn't think they were. Anyway, the Master 2 over to Master 5 and 6 range is a pretty decent range, and it starts to just slowly taper off after that. So I kind of don't want to go above Master 6, but anywhere between Ultra 4-ish and really Master 2 to Master 6 is going to be a really nice place to kind of hang out. So if we can get there really quickly and then just kind of hang out and maybe not do too much on the strength gaining side, we should be pretty good. So as far as getting there quickly, the strongest meal that I can make right now is unfortunately going to be the contrary chocolate meat salad, but we can load it down with some decent ingredients and hopefully get a pretty nice return. Let's go ahead and get this cooking. And then we can change it up because, like I said, we do want to get to the master range as quickly as possible. And then we just kind of want to hang out in that Master 1 to 6 range, or Master 2 to 6 range, as long as we can to maximize the odds of seeing a Totodile. And you can see I've got all of the different Totodile spawns accounted for. And this is kind of the range we want to sit in, right in here. I don't want to go too much further and let it drop off too much, even though it's not really a huge drop off. It's only, you know, from Master 6 to Master 12, it's only about a 4% drop off, but why lose odds if we don't have to? And it looks like we got that breakfast in just in time. So that'll be fun. Basic 2, we're definitely higher than Basic 2. Did I get that breakfast in time? I did. Good. Perfect. That's all I needed. Okay, so now we can change up the team. Let's go ahead and swap back over to our salad team. I think we are gonna run with this team. What meal does that make? Let's click on salads. That will make, that's if we're trying to make green grass salad, which would be nice to get to the master ranks pretty quickly, but we would need Flareon on the team to make that possible. I think we can pull that off. I think we can do that. We can keep Blastoise on the team for extra ingredients and berries, because we don't have a good water. We don't have a good water berry specialist, but I do have a Pokemon that does need some XP, so maybe we swap in that one instead. That might be beneficial for Suicune, but it depends on what they give us for the new recipes when we do get some. I'm assuming we're also going to get new recipes before Suicune comes out. So, yeah, let's do this. Let's use this team. Let's swap out Meganium. And we're going to put Flareon on the team for the extra pot space to try to make the green grass salad a few times. We don't need to make it all week, so we only need this for a little bit. But if we get Flareon on the team, we can get some pot space increases, make that green grass salad a little bit. And then the other one that I want on the team, you know what? Maybe just to help out with the tomato side. Because Victory Bell, yeah. Yeah, let's do this. Let's take the first day or two, see how it goes. Probably the first day. I want to be in that Master 2 to 6 range by the end of tomorrow if we can. So let's go ahead and take day 1. We'll have this team running. Hopefully between Venusaur and Victory Bell, we get plenty of tomatoes and potatoes. Oil is going to be a little bit rough because we did just use some in that meal because I was not thinking. For some reason, I thought we didn't need oil, but of course we need oil for the thing I want to do. But hopefully we can at least make a few, and it doesn't take long to get to Master 2. At the very least, Master 1 or Ultra 4, I think, is really where the probability really starts to stack up and get good. So let's try to get there. And the only problem is we're gonna have to worry about ingredients a little bit. but also we're gonna have to worry about trying to get slumbering type, which is very hard to do naturally. So I'm just gonna have to hope that I get lucky in that regard, which is why I kind of like the pseudo balanced, because then even if you don't get the sleep type you want, you can still see a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, the sleep I got last night would have been perfect for tomorrow, but apparently no, didn't get that lucky. But that's gonna be the plan for Cyan Beach this week. Try to get into that master 2 to 6 range as quickly as possible, and then try to hang out there as long as possible. For now, though, we do need to do one last thing to wrap up the Entei event, and that is to go check out the production comparison for the 3 Entei that we got to see which of the 3 is going to be the one that we keep and is going to be worth investing in. So let me make sure I do these in the right order. All right, so there's our 3 Enteis. This Entei is the Sleep XP bonus Entei. So you're up first. Then the second Entei is going to be, the only other one that's a level 27. Didn't matter. Didn't need to click on that anyway. This one. And then the last Entei will be too far down. Do I have the... Oh, because I caught this one at 26. That's why. Will be this Entei. All right, so let's expand all. Currently 1.27, 1.29, 1.29. Let's double check. The event bonuses should no longer be applicable. They are not. I did have skill trigger rates at a higher because I was messing around with water types. But everything is back to normal. Cool. So 1.27, 1.29, 1.29. Both the second and third Entei I caught. No, I messed up. How did I do that? How did I mess up that badly? Anyway, let's go select them again, because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. This Entei. I have just messed this up entirely. Restart. All right. So it's the 26 with Sleep XP bonus first. That's the first Entei. Now I've got it right. Then the second Entei is 27. Then the third Entei is level 28. This was not that hard. How did I mess this up so badly? Anyway, now we've got it straight. So, first Entei, 1.17. Second, 1.27. Third, 1.29. We actually have Calm, which is speed of help down, which is terrible on the second Entei. But let's put them all at level 50 and see what we're looking like when we get to that point. That's kind of where I'm looking at most Pokemon now when I kind of look towards the future, because 55 is the current cap, but 50 is where they get their next sub-skill. So I'm just kind of chilling out at level 50 most of the time. We have 1.22 on the original Entei at level 50, 1.54 on both the second and third Entei at level 50. So not bad. We do get another skill trigger on the second Entei at level 50. So that's not terrible. But even though they are triggering a little bit more often, it is only level 1 for both of them compared to level 3 on the first Entei. If we were to make some investments, let's go ahead and grab the same Entei again in the same order. Let's make sure we keep them in the same order. And I thought I could move them around, but maybe I am just making stuff up. Anyway, grab them same order just to keep things easy. 27, and we can only... Nope, there we go. There it is. We can do all 6. Okay, so the second set will be the one that we invest in. Let's do worst case scenario. So worst case scenario, this one actually needs no sub-skill seeds at level 50. So 0 sub-skill seeds, but 5 main skill seeds. 5 main skill seeds. Let's just expand all. The second Entei, level 50. 1 subskill seed at level 50 for skill trigger M, and 5 main skill seeds. So level 6, and then for the first Entei, what do we need to invest? Nothing. Except for 3 main skill seeds. Okay, so significantly less investment in the very first Entei that we caught. A good amount of investment in the second one. It was 5 main skill seeds and 1 sub seed. And in the last one, the one we caught today, only 5 main skill seeds. But yeah, that's a significant investment. And at level 50, the second one actually performs better with skill trigger M with that sub skill seed investment. But again, worst case scenario here, forgot about that. We would need probably, if I got very unlucky, 2 sub skill seeds. So potentially 3 sub skill seeds and 5 main skill seeds in this Entei just to get it to 1.75 at level 50. And I don't know how I feel about that. That's a lot. If we go ahead and run to level 100, let's see. Level 100 on everybody. There's got to be a faster way to do this, and maybe I just haven't figured it out yet. But there's got to be a faster way to put everyone at level 100. Okay. Funny enough, at level 100, the first Entei outperforms both of them. Takes less main skill seeds and gets 2.05 skill triggers versus 1.94 for the second and 1.95 for the third, without any sub skill seed investment and only 3 main skill seeds. If we wanted to make the one we caught today actually good, worst case scenario, there's 2 sub skill seeds, 3 sub skill seeds, and 4. Worst case scenario, 4 sub skill seeds on the Entei that we caught today. And at level 100, we would not invest any more sub skill seeds because we do not want Ingredient Finder to level up. So that one still stays at 5 and 3. So I think we can pretty safely say no, 2.24 on the one we caught today. But that is a huge investment for a 10%. Is that 10%? I think that's about a 10% increase in skill triggers per day. Have I done my math wrong? No, my math is correct. It's just shy of 10% increase over the first Entei. But worst case scenario, 5 and 4 seeds. And that's a lot of seeds when you don't have a regular supply coming in. If we were to never invest in any of them and just let them be, the first Entei outperforms the other 2 easily. And then the fact that there's a 10% increase, but it takes so many resources to get that 10% increase from the third Entei, I'm really thinking we just stick with the first Entei we got, 3 main skill seeds if we ever invest in it at all, and just be happy with it. I think it's the better one. Funny enough, the one that I thought was the worst one is actually the better one, in my opinion, simply for the amount of resources it would take to get this one to be good. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. But perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this in the wrong way. If you think I'm wrong, or if you agree with me, let me know in the comments below, because I think we're going to get rid of these other 2 that we caught and just stick with the first one we have. We've already invested in it a little bit just in terms of time. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at on these Entei. So overall, that's the end of the Entei research event. And how do I feel about it now that it's over? I honestly feel like a lot of the magic was kind of lost after the first week was over. And I feel like whether it was just a perception or if it was actually happening. The amount of mains that we seemed to be getting seemed lower than the Raikou event. Kind of made it feel less exciting as well. So all in all, the Entei event was kind of interesting just to see how far I could push the ranks while we were there, and what I could do if I actually had a full week of prep for ingredients and had the right team to really push very hard on the ranks. That was probably the most interesting part of that of the event for me. But I didn't really need the event for that. I mean, yeah, having the bonus to, getting an extra ingredient every time a fire type brings in ingredients, and also having the extra main skill levels did help a bit. In the end, I don't think it would have really affected the rank that I could have gotten to very much. I think I would have still made it to Master 15 or 16 if I did it without the event. I caught a decent amount of Pokemon. Not too many of them were actually worth keeping. Even the Entei that I ended up with, and granted, this is RNG, this isn't really the event's fault, it's just how it worked out this time. The Entei that I have that is actually, in my opinion, usable isn't that great. But again, I'm jaded because I got a really good Raikou the second Raikou I caught, so I'm a bit jaded there. All in all, the event was kind of so-so, and after the first week, it wasn't really all that interesting. The most interesting thing now is just buying the main skill seed to have. Now I have 3 of them. I could invest in that first Entei if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I don't know. It was an okay event. Am I unhappy about it? No. Am I super excited about it? Did I have a really good time because of specifically what was happening during the event that we could only experience during the event? It was okay. But all in all, fun event for a little bit, and then it just kind of died off. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments on how you feel about the event. For me, I kind of want them to change it up, make it more exciting, because it does feel like I said, after that first week, there's not really much else to do. Everybody's already caught their first Entei. Trying to hunt another one with the amount of resources it takes just to catch one, and then it not be good, really takes away from the excitement of trying to catch one. I don't know if I want them to give us a drastically increased shiny rate just to make it easier to catch them, because then if everybody has a shiny, then they're not special in a way. It's kind of a problem I have with Pokemon Go and community days. Like, if everybody can catch 500 shinies in a day, then what's the point of having the shiny? It's not special anymore. So I don't know if I want them to do that, or if I just want maybe the biscuits buffed a little bit to where it doesn't take 5 biscuits to catch them. Or maybe make the biscuits cheaper. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I know going through the Raikou event, I do remember after that one was over, feeling like once I'd caught that second Raikou, what was the point of me really hunting more Raikou and really participating in the event outside of getting Raikou mains to buy stuff from the shop? And that's kind of what it felt like mostly with the Entei event. Even now, I don't even know if I want to buy this Entei incense. I don't know if I really care to try to catch another one with how much resources it would take to catch another one, and then not even, have a pretty good potential of it not even being good and usable with the subskill seeds and the nature that it gets. So I feel like these events need to be buffed in some way to make them more exciting, and I don't know what the solution is. There's probably multiple solutions, probably even solutions that I'm not even thinking of. I'm just trying to work within the framework of what we already have in the game, whether it's buffing the biscuits, making the biscuits cheaper, or, increasing shiny odds for the legendaries, which I feel like we could have an increased shiny rate and it still feels special with how rare they are to see in the first place. So, maybe even if you know, we increase the shiny rate by double with how rare they are, or maybe even increase the shiny rate by triple with how rare they are, it would still be rare to get a shiny, I think, a legendary. But again, I think the biggest problem is that it takes so many resources to catch the legendaries, and then there's no guarantee that they will even be good. So you are potentially wasting a ton of resources to get something that you can only use one per team anyway. So you can't use Entei and Raikou on the same team. You can only have one. So I feel like the fact that they're limited to one per team would be a decent justification for maybe raising the sub-skill floor on them a bit. You know, maybe make it to where they can't have any white skills. They can only have blue and gold skills. Maybe that's a way to do it. Again, I'm not saying these are definitively the right answers. I'm just trying to think of some ideas. I don't think that's the worst. I think maybe raising the skill floor would help. Is it the only solution? Probably not. There's probably other things they could do to make the events feel more exciting when you catch a legendary. Yeah, I don't know. I come away from the Entei event feeling kind of mixed. Like, it was okay. I had a decent amount of fun, but most of that fun wasn't because of the Entei event or what it brought along with it. It was just pushing the ranks and playing the game in a different way by actually preparing this time, and getting ingredients together and being able to make the strong meal that I was able to make, in part because of the good camp ticket and Flareon. So yeah, I think that's what I'm coming away with it. All in all, I'm kind of mixed. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I definitely think it has some potential. Hopefully they make some changes for the Suicune event that make it a little more exciting for all of us. Because I do know I read several comments both on YouTube and on Facebook and other places of people that just didn't really feel super excited about the Entei research event, especially once they had caught their first or second Entei. I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm just kind of here now. So they definitely need to do something to make it more exciting for us. But as what that is, I don't know. Like I said, just spitballing some ideas. But yeah, we do need to spend the rest of our mains. I think what I'm going to do, I'm not worried about getting a Firestone right now. We have plenty of sleep points that I could buy one from the shop if I need to. I think the best thing for me to do is going to be to buy. Yep, they will. That is exactly why. On June 6th at 4 a.m., Entei biscuits will turn into Great Biscuits, and that is why I'm just going to go ahead and buy 4 of them, sorry. Buy the 4 of them, and then I will end up with 4. If I somehow, which I can't, I'm on Cyan Beach. I don't know why I was about to say if I somehow see an Entei before then, I'll use it. But they will convert into Great Biscuits on the 6th, which is good for me, because I don't have the best supply of Great Biscuits, or the best source of Great Biscuits, so I'll take any chance I can get to get some extra ones. I feel like I've got a decent amount of Entei candies, so I'm not worried about getting any more. Firestone, I have enough sleep points, not worried about a Dream Cluster. We're getting so many Dream Shards now that I'm not super worried about one Dream Cluster. That's not going to make a big difference. So really, in terms of the thing that we're going to buy, I think the one that will help us the most with Suicune is just one more candy. The rest, you know what, might as well, nope, wrong one. Might as well just buy 2 more Entei candies, and that leaves us with 1 main, and that's gonna be the event. Nothing left to do for the event now other than to fondly wave goodbye and move on and look to the horizon for Suicune and hopefully be ready for that one. But yep, that's the plan for this week. Gonna try to sit in that Master 2 to 6 range. Entei event, feel pretty decent about it, but I'm kind of ready to move on and look towards the Suicune event. And that's it's been a long video today, so that's gonna be fun. But that's gonna be it from me. So if you enjoy these longer form videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Y'all have a good night, and until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 2 here on just a chill week after the Entei research event has ended. And we're going to start off with a recovery instance and apparently a dark screen, which we haven't seen in a long time, but still our sneaky snacking is 4,355. And we're going to grab 100 sleep points, which puts the grand total at 8,514. And for the daily lottery, we're going to pick up, what do we have? Let's see. Small dream cluster. Very nice. All right. And we are going to get into, we're going to talk about getting ready for Suicune a little bit later on in the video. We do have some time until Suicune pops around, but we'll get into that a little bit more later. So kind of give you guys an idea of what to be looking for if you need some particular things, where you may want to go. But first, let's jump into this sleep report and see if we get anything interesting, because part of the reason I'm here is to prepare for Suicune myself. I did not get the slumbering type sleep, which is awful because I have to have slumbering to get the one thing I need. So that's fun. 20% dozing, 53% snoozing, and 27% slumbering. It's almost certainly going to be the dozing sleep type. It is. I don't think that's going to help at all, to be completely honest with you. I think that just means this entire day is a wash for trying to get ready for Suicune. I also didn't make it to the Ultra 4 quite yet. I think it was Great 5 when I went to bed last night, but 10 million, almost 10.5 million drowsy power is still not bad. But again, without the without this, ooh, there is something. I take it back. This is not a wash on this sleep research. We got something very, very pretty down there. All right, so we've got Bellsprout, 2 Caterpie, a Mankey, a Gulpin, and a shiny Ekans. Very nice. Hopefully it's better than the last one. It can't be much worse because the last one was like 13 PR. So there's that. So let's see. Anybody else hungry? Caterpie's hungry. I don't know that hungry Caterpie is really all that helpful. All right, well, first things first, let's go ahead and just give Ekans a regular Poke Biscuit. Guaranteed catch. There we go. Shiny Ekans in the bag. All right, and let's see. Honestly, I'm thinking Bellsprout, to be completely honest with you. Because if we get better Bellsprout, then we can have an easier time at Lapis. I do have a really good Victory Bell, but not as good as I would like. It's just pretty good, but we could have a better one. Unfortunately, no big hit or critical capture, so we won't be taking that home today, but maybe it's something we can work on over the course of the week. Again, this week going to be very chill, not really trying to spend a ton of biscuits. Just here to see what I can find and try to get that Totodile if I can get Slumbering Sleep type. For now, let's send out some Bellsprout candy. That will help a lot of people when they are ready to go to Lapis. And we can move on. Not going to be a whole lot of Dream Shards. 500 Research XP converted to Dream Shards and 985 Dream Shards. So only about 1,500 total Dream Shards. Not a lot compared to what we have been getting lately with the Entei research event, but not bad. There we go. Could not find Ekans for a moment. Level 13 and quiet. I don't think that's what we want. Sausage, and herbs is not bad. It's pretty decent. Let's see. Charge energy is always good. Skill trigger M is actually pretty good. With that particular main skill, ingredient finder, not so much. Research XP bonus. Skill trigger S, kind of doubling up. Berry finding all the way at level 100. So at least we got berry finding somewhere, I suppose. Ingredient finding up and XP gains down. Yeah, that's not good. It's not what we want. Not what we want at all. But it's not the worst. I think this will turn out to be slightly better than our other Ekans. Maybe not as, I mean, it is better than the other one, but not fantastic. PR 39, that's better than 13. Unfortunately, with the ingredient finder at level 25 and the ingredient finding nature, it's just pretty bad. I'm still gonna save it though. It is a shiny. What level was this? 13? Wow. Unlucky 13 with these Ekans. It's shiny, so let's go ahead and mark that. And we can save it. We can move on. Maybe by the time Ekans is, you know, pretty useful, maybe we'll have a good one. I don't know. Let's go ahead and move on. Another 221 sneaky snacking. No new news. And for the community reports, about 47 of them would be nice. 45, not bad. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that doubled up. Very good. Very good. No level ups today. All right. And then let's try to get into breakfast. Funny enough, Victory Bell has actually been holding me back. Hey, skill trigger there. Some extra potatoes would be nice. Victory Bell underperformed yesterday on the potato front. All right, no potatoes in that skill trigger. Let's see if we can get one here. Good amount of potatoes. That's good. That may cover breakfast and lunch. I think I only had like 2 or 3 left over. That is just about enough for breakfast and lunch. Maybe a couple shy for lunch. Tons of oil. That's what we like to see. We'll collect that candy, but I don't want to collect a skill trigger just yet. We don't need it. So let's go ahead and make some breakfast. We'll get the green grass salad going. Can't cook. I thought I had, oh, maybe I didn't have a pot increase. All right, well, never mind. We are going to collect from Flareon. I thought I had one stored up already. Well, you know, come off the Entei research event and you start slacking on keeping track of your Flareon skill triggers. Go me. Cool. All right, here we go. Now we can make green grass salad. What do I want to throw in here? I want to get a decent amount of strength. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do cocoa. Cocoa gives quite a bit of extra bonus, so if this does go extra tasty, it'll be a little nice to have that in there. Should still be about 35. Was it 35,000? Yeah, 36,328. A pretty good amount of strength from the dish. Not quite as much as we were getting from the keema curry, but it's also less ingredients and trying to, oh, I messed up. I was trying to level up my dishes on the website and I clicked the wrong button. All right, there we go. That does put us at Ultra 2, so we'll definitely be in Ultra 4 range by tomorrow. We'll probably swap the team out tomorrow. I really want to get close to Master 1. I feel like if I can get Master 1, I'll be comfortable swapping the team out and just focusing on trying to maintain that strength that we have to maximize the odds of getting a Totodile if I can ever get the slumbering sleep. I did complete a mission, got to Grade 2, 1,430 dream shards. Unfortunately, the incense this week is an Eevee, not a Totodile, which would have been nice. At least we could have guaranteed ourselves one Totodile, but for now, it's just up to chance and how my sleep actually goes on whether or not I can get a slumbering sleep type. But that said, that does mean that we can move on to the main topic that I wanted to talk about today. We do know that we're going to have Suicune coming up at some point. We don't know exactly when it's going to be, but I have found this handy little infographic provided by Banana Tanks. The event dates and the events that you're going to see listed on here, I have not heard anything official to announce these events, so I'm going to treat them as speculation based on past event data and how those have gone. I think that's what Banana Tanks has done. is to just look at the past events, see when they kind of fell in place, and then try to get an idea of what it may look like going forward. This is probably pretty accurate if they keep up how they have done events, but keep in mind, it is speculation. This is not set in stone. The dates may be completely different. The events may be completely different. Because we do also have the 1-year anniversary coming up in the middle of July that would line up with the Suicune event. So they may push Suicune back for the 1-year anniversary if they don't want to have those two together. So do keep that in mind as we look at this. But the water types that are going to be the most helpful to all of us are going to be Feraligatr, Golduck, Vaporeon, Slowbro, Slowking, and Blastoise. There's a reason I'm here on the beach looking for a Totodile. It's because Totodile is really the only water berry specialist. So kind of need one of those, at least to have the one on the team to be my Typhlosion for the Suicune event. Because Typhlosion did put in a lot of work for me during the Entei event. That said, let's go ahead and sort by water types. This is what I have currently. From what I remember, a lot of people like Golduck, and I do have a pretty good Psyduck, but I also remember a lot of people telling me that Golduck was really beneficial if you had its main skill at maximum level. So do keep in mind that if you're going to go for a Golduck on your Suicune team to get you a lot of extra strength, we'll probably have the event bonus like we did with Entei, where water type skills will be buffed in some way, potentially happening more often, and also potentially getting free levels on their main skills. So you may not need to have it completely maxed out. For charge strength, the current maximum is, let me double check, make sure I'm not telling fibs. Let's see, charge strength S, boom. Current maximum is 7. So if you wanted to use a Golduck, potentially you're using 5 main skill seeds to get it to level, or no, sorry, you'd only need to use 4 if you evolve it, because then it'll be level 2 without any other sub skills to level it up. It would be at 2, you'd need to use the main skill seeds. So 4 main skill seeds would put it at level 6. If we do get that +1 level bonus like we did with the fire types during the Entei event, that would put it at level 7 for the first week. But for the second week, it still would only be level 7, even though we could potentially get +3 to the main skill of water types. So something to keep in mind. I do, like I said, I remember a lot of people told me that in their experience, Golduck was very good if you had a high level main skill on Golduck. So keep that in mind if you want to go for a Golduck, or if you have one that you want to put on the team, you will need a high main skill level for it. Feraligatr, a little bit of a different story. Really, if you can get berry finding, helping speed, adamant nature, those are the things you're going to be looking for to really give you a good Feraligatr. So you're going to be looking for a Totodile that has those things. As you can see, mine does not. Current level cap is 55. So best that mine is going to do is not a lot. It's going to have a very high ingredient finding rate, which I do not want. So that's fun. That's why we're looking for another Totodile. But for your Totodile, again, look for berry finding, look for adamant nature. I think Brave is even a pretty good nature as well. So Brave, adamant, berry finding, helping speed. Those are kind of the main things that you want to look for. Yeah, that's what I would look for. Adamant, brave, berry finding, helping speed. And I'm just kind of repeating myself at this point. So let's move on before I do it again. Anyway, there's also Vaporeon you could have, which is a skill specialist with the main skill ingredient magnet, which is actually a pretty decent main skill. I do have an Eevee that I could evolve into a Vaporeon if I wanted, but given that Eevee already brings in milk and cocoa, and ingredient magnet is the main skill, and I have one very good Blastoise and then another Blastoise that is just kind of all around good. Berry Finding, which we won't have available when the Suicune rolls around. Helping Speed, Skill Trigger, Inventory Up, Ingredient Magnet. This one's all right. But I do have this one very, very good Blastoise that brings in the same ingredients as Vaporeon and has Ingredient Magnet. To me personally, I would go for the Squirtle and Blastoise over the Vaporeon. But if Vaporeon is what you have to work with, Vaporeon will work. It does have a very high trigger rate, so that's good in that sense. But keep in mind, Ingredient Magnet is random. There's no guarantee as to what ingredients you're going to get and that they're actually going to be helpful. So if you have a good Blastoise, use that over for the Vaporeon. But Vaporeon is a good runner-up if you don't have a good Blastoise. And then Slowpoke and Slowbro, I mean, yeah, they're cool. They could be helpful, but their ingredient spread is kind of lacking and their speed is very, very slow. At this point, if I were to look at the Suicune event like I did with the Entei event and try to plan what dish I want to make, dessert seems to be the better option for me, and tails aren't going to help me in that aspect. I mean, Energizing Cheer could be helpful on the team just to keep some random teammates' energy up a little bit more. But ultimately, I don't think this is the best choice. We just don't really have a whole lot of water types on or in the game currently. And then this Slowpoke, which is going to end up being my Slowking eventually, is very good for what it is. But again, I just don't feel like it is the most beneficial to have on the team for the Suicune event. If you have a good one and you can fit it in on your team and it's going to work with your plan, if you're not to the point of making the top tier meals like a lot of us are, and you're still making the Slowpoke tail meals, then a Slowking or a Slowbro could do you a lot of good. For me personally, though, they're not going to help me that much in my plan. But if they are going to help you, that's good. That's fantastic. Make sure you have a good one. You're going to be looking for Ingredient Finder. They are a skill specialist, but you do want those ingredients. So Ingredient Finder is what you're going to want. Inventory Up, Skill Trigger to help keep energy up on the rest of the team, and Helping Speed is going to benefit them significantly because they are slower. So having Helping Speed is going to be very good. So you're going to be looking for the natures on these. You're going to be looking for Quiet would be okay. Quiet and Mild are kind of what you're looking for. I think Quiet would be the most beneficial in terms of ingredient finding. But if you want to go for a Speed of Help nature, then Brave would probably be the one you're looking for, maybe a Lonely. So the two best ones would probably be Brave, Quiet, and then decent runner-ups would be Lonely and Mild natures on a Slowbro or a Slowpoke that you catch that you want to evolve into a Slowking or a Slowbro. I'd recommend a Slowking. Its base frequency is a bit faster and it's easier to get a Slowking because you just need let's see what it is. It is a King's Rock, a Link Cable, and a Slowpoke 80 Slowpoke candies. So it's a little easier. You don't have a level requirement, so you don't have to get it to a certain level before you evolve it. But like I said, if you're going to be making the Slowpoke tail dishes, Slowking, Slowbro, very good choices for that. If you're going to be making other dishes that don't require the tails, then maybe you don't want to look for a Slowpoke, but if you find one, maybe you use it. That said, depending on what you're looking for and what you need, there are several places that you can go. For me, I would love to go to Lapis Lakeside because having a double corn stuffle would help significantly as well for desserts. Because for me, I'm looking to make, or no, it wouldn't help with desserts. I'm trying to make flower gift macarons, but I need a better Bulbasaur for that. And I can find Bulbasaur at Lapis, but I can't find Totodile at Lapis. So currently trying to get the Totodile out of the way because I feel like that's going to be the harder one to find. Whereas I can find a decent Bulbasaur, I think, pretty easily. So currently I'm at Cyan Beach for that reason, for the Totodile. But Lapis, if you have a team that's ready for it and you have Lapis unlocked, you can find all of them except for the Totodile on Lapis Lakeside, plus the new Pokemon, the Stuffle, the Ralts that could help immensely for the event, and Dratini. But that all depends on what dishes you're going to try to make for the Suicune event. But all three of them can be very, very helpful while you're also looking for some of these water types that you want to use on your Suicune team. That said, all 5 of them do show up at Cyan Beach. So if you're only looking for water types, the 5 that are listed here, Cyan Beach has all of them available at different ranks. So use that to kind of help you figure out where you want to go. Keep in mind they are also available at Greengrass, but the spawn pool at Cyan Beach is much more limited, so you have a higher chance of finding these water types if you get the Slumbering Sleep type, for Totodile anyway, Totodile and Squirtle. The others will show up on different sleep types. So keep in mind, Cyan Beach is the best place to go if you want to look for all 5 of them. If you already have a good Totodile or for Ralligator and you're just looking for the others, Lapis Lakeside might be better because you can also look for your Stuffle and Dratini and Ralts while you're there. But that's kind of what we're looking at going forward. So things are going to be quite interesting, but I think the sooner that you start to get your team together for Suicune, the easier it is to just kind of relax and take it easy while you're looking for the Pokemon you want, and you're not waiting until the last minute to be like, oh, I have to find a Totodile now, you know? So if you get it done early, get it out of the way, you can relax a little bit more and just take it easy and kind of play the game the way that I feel it was meant to be played, just a little more relaxed and chilled out. I don't think this is meant to be a super competitive, high stress, have to get everything to min-max as possible. I don't think it's that kind of game. I don't even think you need a 90+% Blastoise or Totodile. I mean, 70 PR tends to work pretty well. My Victory Bell is 70 something PR, and it works pretty well in almost every scenario. I haven't compared the number differences between like a 70 PR and a 100 PR Pokemon, but I feel like the differences are probably not too great, maybe a 10% at best in most cases. But that is just me kind of going off a feeling. So don't stress too much about getting a perfect or a very high PR Pokemon. If you get one that has the right sub skills and maybe the nature is a little off, maybe it'll still work. Just check it out in production comparison, team analysis, and see if it'll still work for you. You don't have to have perfect top tier Pokemon to go far in this game. So that said, that is kind of everything that I feel like we need to know leading up to Suicune at this time. As we get more information, the things that we need to know and the things we need to prepare for will change. Also, do keep in mind, we will almost certainly get a new water type. In fact, I'm even confident saying that we will definitely get a new water type Pokemon during the water type week, and it will probably be a berry specialist, given how the fire type week went. We got Vulpix that was a berry specialist because at that point I think we only had type Cyndaquil as a berry specialist, was the only fire type berry specialist in the game. We got Vulpix to be another berry specialist, so we're probably going to get another water type berry specialist to go together with Totodile. So keep in mind, even if you don't get a really good Totodile during the water type week, whenever it does happen, we will have that new water, almost certainly going to be a berry specialist, that new water type that we can supplement. And maybe instead of having Totodile, maybe we find a really good Marill, if that's what it ends up being. Maybe we can find a really good Marill that will take Totodile's place, or if you have a good one of both, maybe you use them both on the team. Who knows? But keep in mind, this isn't hey, you need to do this right now. Just, you know, things to keep in mind as you try to figure out how you want to plan your next few weeks. I'm kind of hoping that we get a little bit of time to relax, and, you know, if this speculation is correct, we're gonna have about 2 weeks to just kind of do whatever we want. Curry event, I feel like, is probably going to take place on any island. We'll almost certainly be able to go wherever we want for that, so we can really consider that kind of a chill week. That's just meant to have a little bit of fun and not really stress about anything. And then water type week, maybe a little bit of stress trying to find that new water type, but mostly chill. And then Suicune is where we'll really be trying to find a good Suicune. Maybe. I don't know. The way Entei and Raiko are and the fact that I'm not planning to use them a lot kind of makes me think maybe I don't really care to catch too many Suicune and get a good one. Maybe I'll find a decent one and be happy with it, kind of the same as with Entei. But who knows? That's yeah, that's up to future me to figure out whenever that time comes. But for now, that is what we have. That's what we need to know, and what I think that you should take into consideration whenever you're planning your next few weeks. But that said, let's see if I can, I almost certainly can't make lunch, but we'll try. I've kept you guys here for a while, so maybe the least I can do is, oh wait, no, it isn't even lunchtime. I forgot I'm recording this earlier than usual. Lunchtime hasn't even happened yet, so I take it back. I am a terrible, terrible person. Anyway, that said, that is all I have got for today. Let me know in the comments if any of that information was helpful to you, or any other tips or tricks that you have for other players that I may have missed. And while you're down there, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, at which point I do have that special video that I'm recording that I will release after we get there. And that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for watching the video. Y'all have a good night, and until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day, what? No, it's day 3. I don't know. I don't even remember what day it is. Yeah, day 3. The Entei event is over, and I have just lost my mind. I don't know what day it is. It is day 3, and we're here on Cyan Beach, just chilling out, enjoying the waves and the chill vibes that happen here at the beach while we try to hunt down a Totodile. We're also going to pick up 20 diamonds and a little bit of sneaky snacking. I didn't even think to look at it. It's like 4,000 and something, not too much, but we did make it to Ultra 4. And we also picked up 100 sleep points last night, which makes sense. I overslept a little bit. Forgot to set my alarm, so go me. 8,614 total sleep points. And for the daily lottery, we are going to pick up another biscuit. Very nice. We do need biscuits. It will be nice to stock them up before these events come up. Whenever they do, we know for sure we're going to get a 1-year anniversary event. Probably going to be a lot of stuff going along with that. Probably also going to get a lot of free biscuits and stuff, but never hurts to have extras built up just in case. So let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report, see if I got slumbering with my little bit of oversleeping. Yeah, 10 hours and 36 minutes. Overslept quite a bit. That is a lot of slumbering. Is it enough to tip the scales towards the slumbering sleep type? It is. Nice. Okay, cool. Cool. That means we do have a decent chance of a Totodile. I'm not sure if I'm at the 8 spawn drowsy power yet. It may only be 7. I feel like that went really slow. 20 million. 20 million, just over 20 million. Still only 7 spawns. Okay. That went so slow, seemingly, and I don't know why. It just felt like it took about twice as long as it normally does. But we do have a few Pokemon here. I don't see Totodile yet. Golduck, Spheal, uh-oh. That's not good. No Totodile. Spheal, Golduck, 2 Bonsly, a Squirtle. That's not the starter we're looking for. An Igglybuff and a Sudowoodo. Okay, so out of all this, what is something that we wouldn't mind catching? The Spheal would probably be pretty good. I have a pretty decent one, but I could use a better one. Squirtle might also be a good call, but we did already feed the Spheal. And we do have a very good Blastoise and another okay Blastoise. So while Squirtle would be kind of interesting to catch and try to get a good one that is milk focused instead of cocoa focused, I don't know that it's a super high priority, honestly. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna feed the Spheal. Out of everything here, Spheal is the one that will be the most useful, that I do like need a butter one. Will help quite substantially at Snowdrop Tundra whenever we do get back there. And I'm just gonna catch this feel and go back to camp. Let's see. What's the best thing? You know what? I feel like Psyduck candy doesn't get sent out a lot, and for the people who can use a Golduck on their team for the Suicune event, let's send out some Psyduck candy to help them out a little bit. And then we're gonna get 1,181 research XP converted to Dream Shards and 1,650 Dream Shards, about 2,800 total. Not a lot, but a good amount. It will all add up. Level 15 is Sassy. Ooh. Sassy's not bad for a Spheal. It's not great, but it's not bad. Okay, so before I get ahead of myself, let's actually pull the calculator up. I am just all scatterbrained today. Anyway, so we've got oil, sausage, and ginger, which is not bad. Spheal, because of its main skill, is kind of like a hybrid berry ingredient Pokemon in a way. But mostly berries. Dream Shard bonus to start off with. Ingredient Finder M, not super great. That's not what we want. I do want the ingredients to happen at their base rate, if not lower, and then most of the ingredients that Spheal brings in coming from its main skill. So that's not good. Skill Trigger, also not good. Ingredient Finder S, not good. And Helping Speed S, finally something good. And Sassy Nature's main skill chance up and XP gains down. So that would be pretty decent if the sub-skills weren't the way they are. Let's see. For a total strength calculation, we're looking at... well, that was only level 55. Let's go to level 60. We're looking at probably still around the same. Probably about 45. Can't imagine it's going to get too much better. No, it got worse. 42 PR for total strength. Probabilities of catching a better Spheal are very high. Above 50% in a lot of places. Relative strength is very low, very close to 0, which is not good. We want this relative strength to be a very high number. Yeah. This one is just not going to work out as a berry specialist, which is what I need. This field that I have now is not set up in the best way for a berry specialist, but it does help substantially because it does have helping bonus. So that's really good. But that's why I want a better one, because I would like a berry finding Spheal if I can find one. This one doesn't have it, and honestly, I'm not even going to continue. I was going to do some other calculations on ingredient strength and all that, but the fact that all I want is a berry finding Spheal, I'm not even going to mess with it, because other than that, I don't really care. I'm going to rely on other Pokemon for ingredients, so not really that worried about it. We're going to go ahead and move on. I do wish that they would give us that nice little quality of life change and have a send this Pokemon to the professor button on the capture screen when you're looking at the stats. Let us go ahead and send it to the professor there so that we don't have to go into 2 other menus, or really 3, because you've got to go to Pokemon, then your box, and then you've got to click on the Pokemon, then click on the more button, then click on send to professor. But if we just had that option right there at the bottom of the stat screen in the catch page, it would make it a lot easier to manage your Pokemon box. But that little bitty rant aside, let's go ahead and continue on. We are almost to the point that we want to be for hunting Totodile. So that's good. We're about to just be super chill. We have no new news. And then our community reports, there should be about 43 of them. Ooh, 46. Nice. Nice. Very nice surprise. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 that doubled up. Very nice. We're about a third. I like. All right, no level ups today. And that means we can jump straight into getting breakfast together. Nice little skill trigger there. And I'm not really too sure what I'm gonna do for this team that's not going to be doing a whole lot. A skill trigger on Venusaur is very nice for that extra corn. I'm not really too sure what I want to do for this small team. There are a couple of Pokemon I know I want to put on here, but don't want to put anything that's too strong on here and accidentally knock myself out of the rank range that I'm trying to stay in. Another skill trigger, very nice. Oh, that is it. No, it's not everybody. Where are you? Where'd my Flareon go? There you are. Okay. Just in case we still have to make one more meal after this, let's go ahead and wait to collect from Flareon. Make the green grass salad. I do have 2 skill triggers on this one, so we can put a little bit of extra ingredients in there. And maybe that'll be enough to not need to make lunch as well. Actually, you know what? There is one thing I wanted to do. Let me make sure I'm not using ingredients that I might need later. Minus, why? Minus, why can't I press the button consistently? Okay, anyway, now that embarrassment was out of the way, still need to make the ninja salad, so I'm gonna hold on to the leeks, hold on to soybeans, if I have any. I don't have any mushrooms, and ginger, I don't have enough. But that's the last salad we need to make. I would like to make that this week just to get it out of the way. So let's, you know what? We're gonna end up with a ton of milk anyway. Let's go ahead and throw the rest of that in there. Let's see how this goes. I'm kind of at the point where, like, yeah, an extra tasty sounds nice, but I'm kind of scared that it's gonna push me too far. And then by the end of the week, we end up out of that range I want, which ultimately it's not the worst thing if that does happen, because like I said, even I think up to master like 8 or 9, the odds of finding a Totodile only drops 1 or 2%. But why drop your odds if you don't have to? So not really super stressful. We're just trying to hurry up and get to that master 1 and master 2 rank. Not quite master 1 yet, so we are going to need another meal. I think one more green grass salad ought to do it. Which means I do need a skill trigger. Nice. And there's some more milk. All right, so do I have what I need to make another green grass salad? Or do I need to keep this team in? Because I really would like to swap this team out now. Oil is the big problem. I need 22 and I have 18. Corn, of course, I need 17 and I have 14. I have plenty of tomatoes and plenty of potatoes. So Victory Bell and Venusaur can be swapped out. And then I just need to hold on to Toxicroak and Dragonair for just a minute, and Flareon can be swapped out too. Let's double check real fast on the strength and get a progress report. At 251,000, 291 is what we need for Master 2, which is the target. Yeah, lunch will definitely put us there. 36,000. That'll put us at 286. And then I'm sure what little bit we get from berries in between now and then will probably be fine. So yeah, we can swap out 3 of these 5. So then the question is, who am I going to level up for Suicune? And who can I work on leveling? You know what? We're so far ahead. We don't even have to worry about leveling up for Suicune. We can just level up some Pokemon we want. One that I do want to level is... Where are you? I do want you. I don't know if I'm going to use you for Suicune, but I would like to level you up a little bit. Flareon can swap out. Let's go ahead and sort these by level. Oh, I had it right the first time around. Okay. Is there anybody that really needs to be leveled up? Maybe not, honestly. Swablu? A couple of Swablus might actually be some pretty good ideas. We do have like 4 of them. 3 or 2 of them are actually really good. So maybe they would be a solid candidate. This Eevee here. This one. Do I want to work on you? Let's see. Let's pull this one up and see how this actually stacks up. Because I forget what its skill rating was. Here we go. It does have helping bonus, which is very nice. Yeah, the expected skill count was pretty low. And I think that's why I was leaning towards a Vaporeon with this one. Because Vaporeon does have a naturally high skill trigger rate. So I was hoping that that base trigger rate would kind of balance out how bad this one is. Because it has no skill triggers at all. And the fact that it's leaning towards ingredient finder, ingredient finding M, ingredient finding S, and an ingredient finding up nature. I was highly leaning towards this one being a Vaporeon for that reason. But I don't need to level it up for that, other than I would want it leveled up eventually if I'm going to use a Vaporeon. But again, I have the really good Blastoise, so I don't think I really need to. Pseudos are actually a pretty good call. Actually, that's a pretty good call. I guess I could start leveling up this Totodile naturally, just in case I don't catch a better one. I could do that. I don't think I'm going to use the Psyduck method on my team, because it just takes too much effort, too many resources, and you have to check the game like every 2 or 3 hours, because you will have a insanely high skill trigger rate with Golduck, and I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, only 46 expected skill count on that Eevee. Really just not too many great options that I have right now for leveling up. Just general stuff. How do you look? I mean, that's a pretty solid candidate. Question is, which one do I want to evolve? Because I tend to forget this a lot. When you evolve a Pupitar into a Tyranitar, it changes type, changes to a dark type, and then you get the dark type berries instead. So then the question is, which of these two do I want to evolve, the Pupitar or this Larvitar? And I'm honestly not sure, but the fact that this Larvitar has berry finding kind of makes me want to lean towards the leaving this one as the Pupitar, because we already have Umbreon, which is an insanely good non-berry specialist dark type berry gatherer if you can get berry finding and helping speed. So I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards this one staying a Pupitar, plus this one has XP gains down, so it'd be easier to keep it as a Pupitar, whereas this one main skill chance down, which is not good, but could be worked around with a Tyranitar. I don't want any of the legendaries on the team because I don't want to bring in any extra berries if we don't have to. I think Swablu is a good candidate. I think I'm going to look at the Swablu. Espeon. No, I don't want Espeon on the team because I don't want skill triggers. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting dilemma. I did not think it would be this hard to try to figure out who I want to level up. I thought it'd be pretty straightforward, but it's not. You know what? I think I am going to put Blastoise on the team because it's such a high level. Every bit of natural experience that it gets is going to be very nice. And then funny enough, oop, I clicked on the wrong one. Funny enough, I think I am going to put our Celio on the team. Let's go ahead and sort by Pokedex number again. I think I am going to put Celio on the team because it does have sleep XP bonus. Helping bonus is not Do I want to do this? Maybe. I don't know if I want helping bonus. Yeah, I do need to get some levels on this Celio. That will help with Snowdrop when we get there. I'm kind of second guessing this Slow King candidate because what's the point? We're not going to use it very often. But what would we even do? This is kind of tricky. You know what? What I need to do, I need to go to the recipes. I'm planning desserts. Eggs. Eggs. Where's Delibird? Might be a problem because Delibird is a favorite berry, but so is Blastoise. So hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. Where's Delibird? There you are. It's not a good Delibird. Ooh, we get apples at 30. Maybe I don't want to do that. Okay, well, now I know what I need to hunt. I need to hunt a Delibird. Can I get a Delibird here? I don't think so. Delibird. Nope. Green grass and Snowdrop only. I did not think I could get it on the beach, but never hurts to double check. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. I thought I had double eggs, but I do not. What else do I need for what I'm trying to make? Honey? Do I have anything that's worthwhile for honey? Nope. Scroll further down, silly. There we go. Honey. Not really. Not really. Yeah, honey and then apples. That's not good. I need another Bulbasaur for honey. Because this is honey tomato. Not good. I need another Bulbasaur that's double honey. This is a problem. I don't have anything worth in leveling up right now. You know what? I'm gonna leave the Slowpoke on the team for today. And I'm sure that I'm missing something, so I'm gonna ask you guys to let me know. I'm gonna kind of slowly scroll through here. You guys let me know which of these is gonna be the most important to just naturally grow, or which one you just think I should naturally level up while we've got some time to just chill out, because honestly there's a few options and I'm kind of torn on things that I want to put on the team to level up for Suicune versus things that I just want to level up in general. So I'm not really too sure. My main things that I'm looking at right now is one of these Swablu that's really good, and then one of these Larvitar or Pupitar, and possibly the other pseudos, one of the Dragonairs maybe, or the Dratini. The Dratini itself, honestly, not super good. I don't know why I still have this. Did I mean to get rid of this before? I might have meant to get rid of this before. Because why do I still have that? Maybe it slightly outproduces. Maybe the 64 Dratini slightly outproduces the 67. And I was just using the 67 because it was already leveled up. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. And maybe one of the Eevees as well for the evolutions that we need to spend time with before we can evolve it. Those are kind of what I'm looking at, but I'm just not really sure which one to pick. So I'm going to let you guys give me your options and opinions down below in the comments, because I'm kind of at a loss, honestly. I'm not really too sure. I would do the Beware if it was double corn, but we don't really need that right now. I'd rather go back to Lapis and try to find a double corn Stuffle before I invest time in one of those. Yeah, kind of at a loss. I know a lot of people are going to say Gardevoir, but I don't really like Gardevoir on the team all that much. I feel like I get better results from having more ingredients and more pot space. So by that token, maybe I need to get a Glaceon together. Maybe that's what I need to do, is get one of these Eevees and turn it into a Glaceon. Maybe this one. Inventory up, skill level up, skill trigger. If we can get this to level 50 by the time, and Sassy Nature. If we can get this to level 50 by the time Suicune event rolls around, maybe Glaceon is what we need. But not really too sure. Not really too sure. Like I said, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this. I'm gonna leave Slowpoke on the team for tonight at least. I'm gonna keep Toxicroak and Dragonair on the team for now, just to get a little bit of extra corn and oil. Hopefully it is. Hey, guess what? We can find out right now if they have enough. No collections. Nope, no collections. So we're not gonna have the ingredients to make lunch right now, but lunch should put us at Master 2, which is exactly where we want to be, provided I get the Slumbering Sleep type to get the Totodile. And then we did get to Ultra 4, so we got a small dream cluster. The rest, probably not sure what we're gonna actually accomplish this week on these missions with how things are gonna go. Probably not gonna get the 17 cooking times, because I'm gonna stop cooking pretty much entirely once we get to Master 2. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see which of these we actually complete this week. The only one I think we for sure will do will be the Master 3. But that said, that is gonna be it from me for today. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, at which point I do have a special video that I will be releasing. It is not Pokemon Sleep related, but it is Pokemon related, and it's going to be, so far it's been a lot of fun on this playthrough. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so that we can get to that goal, and y'all have a good night, and until next time, later dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I did get it a little bit spoiled by the news that we've got, so we've got some things to talk about. But before we get into that, in case you missed it in yesterday's video, I did launch a Discord server, and there's already a pretty good group of people in there. They're pretty cool, having fun, chatting. So if you want to join them and talk about Pokemon or any other video games, or just hang out and meet some generally cool people, I will have the link to the Discord server in the pinned comment, as well as the description of this video. So go ahead and click that, come join us, and come hang out. But that said, let's go ahead and move on and jump into things. We are going to start with a little bit of sneaky snacking, a little more than I expected. 6,040. Was not trying to get that much. We are also going to get a small dream cluster, and we're going to pick up 100 sleep points, which is good. I did not get very good sleep last night, so hopefully I at least got a decent amount of sleep. 8,714 is our total sleep points currently. And for our daily lottery, we're gonna pick up a small handy candy. Very nice. I do like those. Those will come in very handy later on once we start really buckling down for getting ready for what's coming up. And let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report, see if I at least got slumbering. I did get to the point where we do have 8 spawns. Fed lunch and dinner, but dinner was just enough to get us to the 8 spawn strength that we need. Definitely not slumbering. 15% dozing, 61% snoozing, and 24% slumbering. So that is not good. That is dozing type, yeah. Yeah, dozing. There are some things on dozing that we could catch that would be kind of worth it, but the main thing that I really want is not gonna show up. So that means no Totodile today, unfortunately. A couple of 3-star sleeps though, very interesting. Maybe those will be something new at least. At least we can be working towards the next Sleep Dex goal, because I have a feeling around the 1-year anniversary, we're probably gonna see some new Sleep Dex goals. Just a hunch that I have, but we'll see if that actually pans out. For now, we do have the Atop Belly Psyduck. What else do we have besides the game running very slow? A lot of monkeys. A lot of monkeys, okay. So we've got a Krogunk, a Bellsprout, an Ekans, a Caterpie, a Psyduck, 2 Mankeys, and a Primeape. Okay, well, nothing new. I don't really know if there's anything that I'm super concerned about catching right now out of that group. Bellsprout may be a good idea. I do have a really good Psyduck already. I could use a better Bellsprout. So maybe that's what I'm gonna go for. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. And I did already feed the Bellsprout once, so we could take it home, which I think is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna see if this Bellsprout will give us any love today. All right, and then we're gonna wrap it up and go back to camp. Gonna save our biscuits. Possibly could use another good Mankey, but I think we have 2 pretty good Primeapes already, so that's not a big concern. You know what? There may be people that are going to use Golduck on their team for Suicune, so let's go ahead and send out some Psyduck candy and hopefully help people get set up for when that event does roll around, because it will be here before we know it. It is far away, but it'll be here before we know it. About 4,400 total Dream Shards, so not too bad on that front. The Bellsprout, though, let's see how we're looking. Oh, there it is. Cool. My window got resized. There we go. Level 15 and quirky. All right, let's see what this means for us. Tomato, potato, potato. I don't know how I feel about that ingredient spread. I do already have a tomato, potato. So I don't know if that's what I wanted or if I wanted tomato, tomato, potato for a longer term Bellsprout, but let's see what the rest of it turns out to be. It may still end up being better than the Victory Bell we already have, but we're gonna find out. Helping Speed S is a good start. Sleep XP bonus is pretty decent. Inventory up S, also good. Energy recovery bonus is okay. And skill trigger S is all right. So nothing really too great, but quirky nature, which is neutral, is not going to help all that much. Let's see. I think this is going to turn out to be pretty okay, but kind of middle of the road. Maybe not. I thought it would be a little bit better, but not having ingredient finding of any kind probably hurting this Bellsprout pretty badly. I'm not going to use it no matter what, because it has the same ingredient spread as the Victory Bell we already have, and it doesn't have any ingredient finding, but I'm just curious how it turns out. Probability of catching a better one is very, very high. So that's not surprising. Not even remotely surprising. Honestly, having Sleep XP bonus is not the worst thing. It does help with leveling up Pokemon over time. But unfortunately, with an ingredient specialist, we do need ingredient finder. So Sleep XP bonus instead of ingredient finder is not helping. The funny thing is, it's only the gold subskills on this Bellsprout that are bad. If we swapped those out for ingredient finder M and maybe a skill level up, I think this could be a near perfect Bellsprout. The only difference would be that we'd also need a ingredient finding nature. I forget which one it is that's ingredient finding up and what is it? XP gains down. I forget what that one's called, but that would be the one that I'd look for Bellsprout, because we do want that main skill to trigger as much as possible. Even a sassy nature wouldn't be terrible on a Bellsprout, because if we can get that skill, especially with a skill level up, to trigger quite often, you're gonna get a lot of energy back, because Victory Bell typically triggers fairly often for me anyway. Once or twice a day usually, without any real main skill up. So if you get a sassy one and really get that main skill triggering fairly often, you get quite a lot of return out of that. But this Bellsprout ended up only being a 49 PR, which is not surprising. It was middle of the road, almost exactly like I was expecting at the beginning. So again, we will go ahead and send this one to the professor. Unfortunately, no button to do so from this screen. You know what? I wonder if they could even just like split the OK button and on the left side have OK, on the right side send to professor, and then a confirmation. Like if you hit send to professor by accident, hey, are you sure you want to send to professor? And then you confirm it. That could be interesting. But let's go ahead and move on. We have a lot to cover today. Another 206 sneaky snacking. I don't want sneaky snacking right now. It's not the worst, but I'm not super stoked about it. But we do have new news. A couple of things from this were spoiled for me. I knew the Pokemon that was coming. I knew we were getting Cramorant, which is an out of left field Pokemon. I would have never expected Cramorant to be coming so soon, but it looks so majestic in this first photo. I just love that picture of Cramorant. Anyway, I know about a couple of the features, but not everything, so some of it will be new. You will get a little bit of a live reaction from me in some of these things, but let's go ahead and check out the new arrival, Cramorant. There have been reports of Cramorant appearing near certain areas. Maybe this is thanks to the sleep research you've all been conducting. I noticed that this Cramorant is on Cyan Beach in this picture. It may be possible to encounter it during sleep research sometime soon. We hope you're looking forward to this. Note, appearing beginning June 17th, 2024. So that is not far off. That's what, a week and a half? Yeah, just about a week and a half. So not next week, but the week after, we'll get Cramorant to start showing up at 3 p.m., middle of the day. Cramorant incense can be used starting from the date and time above. It appears, oh, that's very surprising. It appears at Greengrass Isle, Cyan Beach, and Snowdrop Tundra. I was not expecting it to show up at Snowdrop. I figured Lapis would be where it was going to spawn. But that's just because I was assuming that Cramorant wouldn't like icy waters. So maybe I'm being a little bit too realistic in a Pokemon game. But yeah, of course, Cramorant is also going to be on the Slumbering Sleep type, which is just my luck. Yay. So that's good. We are going to be looking for a Cramorant. I'm very curious what it is going to end up being in terms of a specialist, berries, ingredients, or skills. I'm just going to take a random guess just for the fun of it. If I were to put money on it, and not a lot of money, if I was to put like 5 Poké Dollars on it, I'm going to say skill specialist. But here we go. We have a new event, the Summer Festival, coming later this summer. This summery week-long event will feature greater appearance rates for water, flying, and bug-type Pokemon. Also, you'll be able to use a limited time function, the Candy Cram-O-Matic. And this was the one I was spoiled on. I kind of understand how it works, but let's see if the official news explains it a little bit better than what I heard. So, this function allows you to get medium-sized candies, which I think for a handy candy, I think is 20 candies. So medium-sized candies of various types by feeding Dream Shards and Pokemon candies to the Candy Cram-O-Matic, which is why we're getting Cramorant. For more details, please see the information about the limited time Candy Cram-O-Matic function. You can complete limited time event missions to get great rewards, such as Cramorant Incense. There will also be other various bonuses. We hope you are looking forward to the event. I kind of am. The Cram-O-Matic does sound like an interesting feature. It's always nice when they give us something new. The event period is also going to start Monday, June 17th, but at 4 a.m. and last until Monday, June 24th at 4 a.m. So a 1 week long event. I do wish we had a little bit more downtime, but I guess we'll get 2 weeks of downtime. Maybe I'll feel different once we actually get closer to it. It's only been a few days since the Entei event, so maybe I'm still kind of like, oh, the event is over. Let's just chill for a minute. But here we go. Limited time function Candy Cram-O-Matic. Only during the event, you can use the Candy Cram-O-Matic from the home screen. If you spend Dream Shards and feed 40 of your Pokemon candies to the Candy Cram-O-Matic, you'll get 1 medium-sized candy of a random type. On rare occasions, you'll get a great success when you use a the Candy Cram-O-Matic. When you get a great success, you'll receive 2 medium-sized candies. Okay. So it's a good thing that last week we looked at how many excess candies we have in different areas, so we can use a lot of those Wobbuffet candies to fill out the Candy Cram-O-Matic and hopefully turn those into more useful candies. So that's a good thing, that we do get to take some of our candies that we may not be using for anything and turn them into something that can actually be used on something we want. Also, the type of candy you receive depends partially, keep in mind this is the important part, only partially on the type of Pokemon candies you feed the Candy Cram-O-Matic. Note, this does not guarantee that you will receive the same type of candy you fed the machine. So, for example, if you feed the Candy Cram-O-Matic 40 Bulbasaur candies, which are grass-type candies, the candy that comes out is slightly more likely to be grass-type Candy M. Not guaranteed, just slightly more likely. How much is slightly? Who knows? Very vague term. Could be 10%, could be 30%. We don't know for sure. Another example, feed it 30 Bulbasaur candies and 10 Pikachu candies. The candy that comes out is slightly more likely to be grass type candy and very slightly more likely to be electric type candy. Again, what does very slightly mean? We don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. Notes, this function can be used up to 4 times per day, so you can't use it endlessly. It's only 4 times a day, and each time this function is used, it will consume more dream shards than the previous time. The number of times you can use the Candy Cram-O-Matic and the number of dream shards it consumes will reset each day. Good. That was my question, was if it was going to keep stacking up the cost of dream shards over the course of the week, or if it reset every day. It does reset, so that's fantastic. A function that allows you to see the number of Pokemon candies you have in your bag is included in the version 1.7.2 update, which we already have, and that's what we looked at last week when we were looking at how many candies we have in the top 3 and top 5. You can use this function by selecting Menu, Bag, and Pokemon Candies. Bonuses. This is the fun stuff. The following effects will trigger, if I don't scroll too far, in the applicable areas during the event. Applicable areas is the question. Where are we going to go? Dishes will be set to curries and stews, so it will be a curry event. We know how that's going to go. Final strength gains from dishes will be multiplied by 1.5. Nice. They will be multiplied by 1.5, so you will always get 1.5 extra, so it's a good time to level up some curries and stews if you want to do that. Also, it may be a good time to really try to push for that next tier of dish and try to make it as much as you possibly can to get a head start on it and get through those early levels. So it will be multiplied by 1.5 or 3 for an extra tasty. They did still word it a little bit in a way that I don't like. I don't like how this isn't very clear. What they're saying is that it won't be multiplied by 1.5 normally, and then if you get extra tasty, it will then also be multiplied by 3. I fell victim to this last time. I'm sure a lot of you remember. What it's saying is that it will be multiplied by 1.5, so if the dish would normally be 10,000, you'll instead get 15,000, and then if you get extra tasty, it will double to 30,000, which is effectively a times 3 over the base 10,000 that it would have been. So it's a little bit unclear, a little bit murky, at least for me. I'm assuming if I didn't understand it, maybe there's somebody else out there that didn't understand it as well. So just to make that clear, that's what it is. And then 4.5 times for extra tasty dishes on Sunday. So that 10,000 will then be 4,500 or 45,000 on Sunday. All right, so more bonuses. A few Pokemon of different sleep types will appear. So of course we always have the pseudo balanced sleep for events. That makes sense. And you may meet certain shiny Pokemon. So sounds like potentially, I mean, they didn't outright say it, but to me that says that the shiny rates have been increased. Maybe it's only for a certain group, and they'll get into that a little bit later. Pokemon that are easier to encounter during the event with a greater appearance rate, water types. So we got Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Psyduck, Golduck, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Vaporeon, Totodile, Croconaw, Feraligatr, and Slowking. I believe that's all the water types in the game. For flying types, Doduo, Dodrio, Delibird, Swablu, and Cramorant. So Cramorant is going to be a flying type for Pokemon Sleep purposes. I believe in the mainline games it's flying water type, but I am not super familiar with Cramorant, so I could be wrong, but it will be a flying type for Pokemon Sleep purposes. Bug types, Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, Pinsir, and Heracross. This is a good time to hunt Pinsir and Heracross for those of you who, like me, need better ones. So maybe take that into account when you decide on what island you want to go to. Note these Pokemon's greater appearance rates apply to the separate areas where each Pokemon appears. So for Greengrass Isle, I believe that is all of them save for, there's one of the water types that doesn't spawn at Greengrass, I think. Golduck. Yeah, Golduck does not spawn at Greengrass, but Psyduck does. And honestly, you want to catch a Psyduck and not a Golduck anyway. So not really that big a deal. The flying types, they do all spawn on Greengrass. And the bug types also all spawn on Greengrass, so if you just want access to everything outside of Golduck, green grass is the way to go. But if you're wanting to be a little bit more specific, there are other places to go. For Cyan Beach, you have access to all of the water types for the event: Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Psyduck, Golduck, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Vaporeon, Totodile, Croconaw, Feraligatr, and Slowking. Sorry, Vaporeon wasn't on the list. Yeah, Vaporeon is on the list for green grass. Good. When I said it, I didn't remember it on green grass, but it is there. Flying types, interesting. I could have sworn I'd found Doduo on Cyan Beach before, but maybe not. So for Cyan Beach, Cramorant is the only flying type that will have a greater appearance rate because it is the only one that spawns there apparently. For bug types, Caterpie, Pinsir, and Heracross. So if you need Pinsir and Heracross, Cyan Beach may also be a place for you to go look. For Snowdrop Tundra, it is a very limited selection, so if you only need these very limited Pokemon, maybe Snowdrop is the right place for you. You've got Psyduck, Slowpoke, and Slowbro, and then for flying types, you've got Delibird, Swablu, and Cramorant. And then for Lapis Lakeside, it's a little bit limited, but not as limited as Snowdrop. We've got Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Psyduck, Slowpoke, and Slowbro. And then for flying types, we've got Doduo, Dodrio, and Swablu. So definitely going to be green grass, Cyan, or Snowdrop if you're wanting Cramorant, which that will probably be determined later on when we figure out a little bit more about Cramorant's stats. Notes about the summer festival. I think this is just the normal stuff that's like, hey, make sure you go to sleep and make sure you things will reset at this time. Does it tell us how many dream shards we use for the Cram-O-Matic? No, just says that it may return in future events. And the rest is just the standard event disclaimer stuff. Doesn't look like anything important. Yep, cool. No worries then. So we can go ahead and move on. All in all, sounds like a pretty packed full event. Gonna be kind of interesting to figure out more about Cramorant and then decide where we want to go. Of course, I do want to get one just to have it for the collection. The question is, what else will I have found in between now and then? And what does that mean when the time comes? But overall, looking forward to the event. Let me know in the comments what you think about the event and if you're excited for it or if you just, kind of want to take a little bit longer of a break. But let's go ahead and continue on for our community reports. We've got about 45 of them. 46. Okay, cool. Nice. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that have doubled up. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Now to get into things that are going to be a little bit different. We are not making breakfast today because we got another 326 sneaky stacking because it's lunchtime. So this is the team. You know what? Let me just make it a little easier to see rather than trying to scroll all around. This is the team that I went to sleep with last night. This is the team that got all of the XP gains. I did have the Eevee on here because a couple of people in the comments were telling me that Vaporeon was actually very good and I should try it out. So I figured, let me go ahead and throw Eevee on the team that I was thinking about being a Vaporeon. But I did have other people telling me, maybe don't evolve that one to Vaporeon. Vaporeon's good, but maybe that Eevee isn't good. But I did also throw this Eevee on the team. I meant to do a long press. I am a silly goose. Let's go back. Long press. I did throw this Eevee on the team because it does have a pretty high rating. It's not the best Eevee that I could have found, but with a couple of sub-skill seeds, it could be very, very good. It's got a sassy nature. With 88, the fact that it says percent, I've stopped putting percent on my Pokemon when I rate them and name them. So the fact that it says percent means I have not rated this in a while. It may be higher or lower, but with a couple of sub-skill seeds, particularly at level 50 and 75, if we got lucky and only had to use 2, getting a skill trigger M, or not 75, sorry, I meant 25. Skill level up and skill trigger M would be very good, but also another sub-skill seed on that helping speed would also be very good. The only bad thing about it, it's not even really bad, is the ingredient finder S. That one I would just probably leave as ingredient finder, but with a little bit of investment, I think this Eevee is a very solid one. Milk, Cocoa, and then Milk at level 60. I think this is a good one. Maybe this is a good Vaporeon candidate. I did put it on the team to get some sleep time built up, thinking that this would be a Glaceon. But then I got to thinking, Why am I in a rush to get a Glaceon when I have a Flareon and Glaceon is going to have the exact same main skill? Outside of times where I'm on Cyan Beach, it's not really going to make a difference. If it's just a neutral berry and it's not a favorite berry, then it doesn't really matter if I use Flareon over Glaceon. And the only reason I was thinking about Glaceon was for the Suicune event. So there's no guarantee that I would even get Rost berries as the favored berry during the event. So there's no point investing in an Eevee to be a Glaceon just in case I might get a Rost berry. Like, I'm gambling to gamble, and that's not a smart way to play it. So perhaps this could be the Vaporeon that I test out, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And then, since this Eevee is probably not going to be the Vaporeon, I'm still not sure what I want to do with this Eevee. I don't know what I could turn it into that would actually be worthwhile, because Vaporeon was the only one that seemed more ingredient focused than the others. So I'm not really sure if I could do anything with it or if I should just ditch it and send it to the professor for candies. But one thing I do know that I can do is get one of these pseudos on the team, and I'm thinking with how beneficial this guy is for curries, for that Kima curry, thinking maybe we put him on the team and let him naturally grow a bit, because pseudos take a lot to grow. But also, I'm second guessing this Slowpoke on the team that's going to be our Slow King eventually. I don't know that I want to work on that one. I feel like there are better choices. That said, potentially Delibird could be really good down the road if we get higher tier recipes that use apples. But I still don't know which of these two, the Pupitar or the Larvitar, that I want to be my Tyranitar. So I'm thinking potentially this one as the Tyranitar, because it has berry finding, so getting berry finding on a dark type would be very nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this guy on the team. And even if this doesn't become my Tyranitar, it's kind of a twofold thing. Even if it doesn't become my Tyranitar, it does give him a little more XP to bring it more in line and closer together with the Pupitar. So at the end of the day, maybe I can have them at a more similar level. And also, maybe earn a little bit of candies along the way if he'll collect some, because 243 is not a lot for a pseudo legendary. So why is the game lagging? Is the game lagging, or am I just not pressing buttons? There it goes. Okay, so one thing I do want to do, we've swapped the team out. We're going to switch. We're going to hit. You know what? Let me explain what I'm doing a little bit better. Let me explain what I'm doing a little bit more intricately. Before I do something that I'm probably going to regret here in a minute, let's, we've already swapped those two out. So let's go to Blastoise. Did not get what I wanted. I was hoping for an ingredient magnet. How about you? No. Okay, we're not going to collect from Celio. Only a few berries there, so we're going to collect all of that from Blastoise just to stock it up. Nope, nothing there. And then we're not going to collect from anybody. What we are going to do to minimize the amount of strength that we gain over this week, this is what I'm doing every few hours. Swap the team, hit use this team, and then back out, because if you don't know, fun fact, the team changes do not actually take effect until you go back to this main screen here. I did test it yesterday and it did not work. So you can see now everybody's inventory has been cleared. No one has anything for me to collect. Of course, Blastoise doesn't, because I did collect everything anyway. And then we swap back, use this team. And then now when we go back, where's our Celio? You can see Celio's inventory completely cleared out. It did not get applied as sneaky snacking. It is just gone like it never happened. So that is one method that you can use to minimize the amount of strength that you gain over the week. Just do that every few hours before you start hitting sneaky snacking. And even if you get to sneaky snacking and get a little bit, it's not really going to affect much given the range that we're working with. But that's what I'm going to be doing to minimize the amount. I don't have what I need yet to make the, the ninja salad that I was going to make. Yes, ninja salad. I don't have it, but I can make a bean ham salad. We're not going to put anything else in it. Don't add more. And we're going to move on. Really, I could have just made a 1-ingredient meal. Of course, it's extra tasty. Well, luckily, the extra tasty didn't really affect much. Only 3,239. I've gone a week and a half without an extra tasty. And my first extra tasty in a week and a half is on this little 8-ingredient bean ham salad. That is, if that is not the epitome of my luck in a perfect example, I don't know what is. I don't know how else to describe my luck if that's not it. Anyway, that's how you minimize the amount of strength that you get if you want to do so for a specific Pokemon that you're hunting, like I am. Again, we do want to stay between Master 2 and Master 6 because that does maximize our odds of getting a Totodile if I get Slumbering Sleep type. So that's why I'm doing that. I am trying to get skill triggers with Blastoise just to stock up other ingredients, but I'm not really trying to collect berries from Blastoise. So if I can get a skill trigger and collect as many of the ingredients as I can and collect as few berries as possible, that is the idea. But for now, that is everything. That should be a set plan. We should be good for the rest of the week. We have all 8 spawns going forward the rest of the week. We're in the range that we want to be for Totodile. Took a little longer to get there than I wanted. I was hoping to be there by Tuesday night, but unfortunately we had to take an extra day. But it is what it is. We'll do good for the rest of the week. Now, if I can only get Slumbering type, then we'll really be in the money. But that said, that is going to be all from me today. Again, I will have the link to the Discord in the pinned comment and the description of this video if you want to come and join us and hang out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button while you're down there. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I am working on a special video that will be released once we get to 1,000 subscribers. And yeah, other than that, y'all have a good night. And until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 5 here on Cyan Beach, looking for a Totodile, and we're going to start off pretty strong. Well, not as strong as normal, but with 4,060 sneaky snacking, which is good. We don't want too much. We're also going to get 5 apples that we're just going to keep in the pantry until we're ready to use them. But that little bit of sneaky snacking does put us at Master 3. So we're still well within that Master 2 to 6 range that we want. We're just hitting Master 3 on Friday morning. So that does mean that we should stay within that range throughout the rest of the weekend. Get Snorlax to Master 3, job done. We are going to pick up that incense a little bit later on. We're also going to get 100 sleep points, puts us at 8,814. Probably should try to find something to spend those on. Not really too sure why I'm still holding on to so many. It's not like I can redo the premium trial and buy out the shop twice over again. Let's see. Let's go ahead and buy a Master Biscuit. Might as well. We always want that. And while we're here, we can go ahead and buy the easy travel ticket. Always good to pick those up pretty cheap. Have them on hand when we need them. They worked out very well for me for the Entei research event. So definitely want to have some more on hand. As far as everything else, not really anything that's super pressing to spend our sleep points on. I could do some tickets and stuff, but I'd rather wait and buy those when we need them because they very rarely pop up. But I think that's all I'm going to spend on right now. Just the Master Biscuit and the easy travel ticket. Those are kind of the two that I think everybody should be buying every month. Master Biscuit is kind of debatable. There's not really anything in the game super worth using a Master Biscuit on. So if you've got a few already, I don't know. Like if you already have 4 or 5, I don't know that I would really stock up on a whole bunch of Master Biscuits. But it's up to you. However you want to play the game is all that matters. We did get 9% dozing, 51% snoozing, and 40% slumbering, which is probably not going to be the slumbering type. It is balanced, though, so that's good. That means we do still technically have a chance of finding a Totodile, although probably not a very high chance, but maybe we'll get lucky. A bunch of 2-star sleep styles. There's another 4-star. All right, 32.678 million. Not bad. 32.7, almost 7. Maybe we'll get a Totodile in here. That would be very nice. That's a Caterpie. That is not a Totodile. All right, let's see what we've got. That's unfortunate. No Totodile. We've got 2 Bonsley again. Bonsley seems to show up non-stop here at the beach. Weepinbell, Pikachu, Caterpie, Slowbro, Mime Jr., which is kind of interesting. That one might be what we go for, and a Caterpie. Mime Jr., kind of interesting. Could be helpful at Lapis Lakeside with the right ingredients. But let's see what we're dealing with. Anybody hungry? Hey, Mime Jr.'s hungry. Perfect. I think that settles, yep, that tells me exactly what I'm about to do, because nothing else is really all that interesting to me right now. Yeah, no. Oh, of course, I've already fed him too. You know what? I didn't want to use biscuits, but it seems kind of silly to use a bonus biscuit in this situation. We'll get that one Poke Biscuit back, I'm sure, at some point. Let's go ahead and do the Poke Biscuit to feed the the Mime Jr. Take that one home, and then what do I want to feed the bonus biscuit to? That's the real question. I think out of everything here, the only thing that would be kind of useful might be the Pikachu, so I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll feed the Pikachu that bonus biscuit. And I think we're gonna move on from there. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Wrap this up, we'll return to camp and we'll see just how good that Mime Jr. is. Hopefully, it's better than the ones that I've found so far. The question is, what candy do we send out of all these options? None of them are really super great. I think I'm gonna send out Bellsprout candy. Victory Bell, I think, is the most useful for Lapis. Oh no, how did I click on Caterpie? I wasn't even, man, I apologize. I am sorry to all my friends. I did not mean to send the Caterpie. I don't know how I managed that. About 4,200 total dream shards. I was trying to get Mime Jr. set up on the other screen so that we could just go ahead and jump into calculating it, and somehow I clicked on Caterpie. Well, now I just feel awful. Potatoes and leeks. That's kind of a good ingredient spread. Kind of. It's not the best, but it's okay. But let's see, we've got Inventory Up M, which is a pretty good start. Ingredient Finder S, we're off to a good start, actually. Helping Speed, let's keep this going. Skill Trigger M, not super great on this one, but you know, doesn't hurt. Inventory Up S, this is actually not bad. The Nature, ooh, no. That's exactly the opposite of what we wanted. That's not good at all. Yeah, that Nature just tanks the rating on this thing. I don't even know if a sub-skill seed at level 25 could save this. I mean, it would be okay, but the Nature just really kind of ruins it. Yeah. The sad part is, outside of getting Inventory Up S at level 100, since we already have Inventory Up M, we don't really need it. So outside of that, the sub-skills are pretty perfect. Just a couple of sub-skill seeds to maximize them, and this would have been a really good Mr. Mime. Potentially a really good Mr. Rhyme whenever we get to that point, because I don't know how they're going to handle the Galarian evolutions and the split evolutions. Because as far as I can remember, we don't have any regional variants in the game yet, so I don't know how they're going to handle those. But Mr. Rhyme, I don't know if they would change it to an ice type. If they did, it could be an interesting ingredient gatherer for potatoes and leeks, or just tomatoes and potatoes. But we're looking way into the future at that point. A PR of 14, and you know what probably didn't help? I bet you the cooking is set to salads. It sure is. Let's try one more time. Let's see if it's any better. It's not starting off any better, so I don't think yeah, this is still the same. I don't think it's gonna be any better. Yeah, that's very bad. That's very unfortunate. I think in this case, I'm inclined to agree with the calculator that that nature does kind of ruin this Mr. Mime. We would, we'd just be fighting against, it would be fighting against itself the entire time. So, more candy to feed to the Cram-O-Matic, I suppose. Let's go ahead and move on. That's not, unfortunately, not a very good Mime Jr., and it just seemed like it was meant to be. I saw it, I was like, oh, that'd be an interesting catch, and it was hungry. It just seemed like it was meant to be, and then just nope. We do have new news, big new news. Ooh, okay. Good, a bunch of new news. 4 different, okay, all right, cool. Let's jump into it. Let's start with the performance issue fixes that are underway. This is good. Known bugs, Snorlax's strength and rating gain animations playing on a loop in certain situations. This bug can be removed by tapping the menu button on the title screen and then tapping clear cache. The bug is scheduled to be fixed in a future update. Fixed bugs as of 6/7, so June 7th. Certain shiny Pokemon not appearing in the list of profile icon choices even after the version 1.5.1 update. Also, users in certain environments may see some shiny Pokemon that they haven't yet discovered in their list of profile icon choices, but this is expected behavior as based on adjustments in the version 1.013 update. Some shiny Pokemon that were evolved count as discovered in the sleep style dex. Makes sense. Bug fixes, we've already gone through all of these. These are old, so we will not be going through all of that old information, but good, they are still fixing bugs as expected. First things first, let's go ahead and get maintenance out of the way. To update the app's new version, maintenance will be conducted in the following time period. June 10th, 8 p.m. my local time. It will be different for your local time, so make sure to double check this news so that you're aware of when it happens. It should still be the standard time that it always does. I believe June 10th will be Monday. It is this coming Monday. So make sure that you schedule your meals and sleep times around this. You can still go to sleep while maintenance is being performed, but you cannot do anything else in the game. So make sure you collect your Pokemon's inventory and make whatever meal that would interrupt before that happens. They have been getting done with maintenance early a few times lately, but that doesn't mean that they will this time. So make sure to plan accordingly. Points to be updated. Preparation for the summer festival, of course, makes sense. Here we go. Here's the stuff we like to see. Balance adjustments. Pinsir, base carry limit increased by 3, and its ingredient finding rate has been increased by 5%. Interesting. Very interesting that they increased it by so little, but maybe that's all he really needed. I guess we'll have to test out some Pinsir afterwards and see how it works out. I feel like Pinsir already had a pretty good ingredient finding rate, so maybe that 5% will make a decent difference. I don't know. Heracross base carry limit increased by 2. Its frequency has been shortened slightly, so it's a little bit faster, or will be a little bit faster. And then its main skill chance also increased by 5%. That's good. I haven't had a chance to use a Heracross, but it does have Ingredient Magnet, if I remember the main skill correctly, so that will be pretty good. Both of them, interesting that Pinsir and Heracross, 2 bug-type Pokemon, both got buffs at the same time. But that's good. I like that they are doing balance adjustments. And then other capacity limit for, here we go. Capacity limit for the bag's item pocket unlocked. Items pocket max capacity is currently 700. It will go to 800. That is the only capacity increase we're getting right now, it seems. Some text has been adjusted or unified, and other small bug fixes and adjustments. Interesting. I still have not hit the 700 item pocket cap. I don't have nearly enough items to need that much of an inventory space, but I guarantee you there's somebody out there that does have 700 and is constantly struggling with a full bag, so this will definitely help them. Either way, it is something that we will take advantage of eventually. And then for bug fixes, alarm set on the Pokemon Go Plus Plus going off an hour late in countries with daylight savings time. Countries like mine that still do that crazy thing. Anyway, note the alarm will be automatically corrected when you connect the Go Plus Plus after updating the app. Good. Cool. So good fixes. Nothing game breaking that needed to be fixed. So that's good. All right, let's figure out what's going on with Good Sleep Day 11, and then we will break down the Good Sleep Day bundles. All right, the event outline. I'm not going to read all of this. We read it every time, and it's never anything new. So let's just get into the details. The event period is going to be Friday, June 21st at 4 a.m. to Monday, June 24th at 4 a.m., which means that the day of the full moon is on Saturday. So that's good. That means that our Saturday strength will be multiplied by 2. So we're all going to have a very, very good sleep research Sunday morning. Of course, the event is in all areas. It doesn't matter what island you're on. The following bonuses will trigger when you conduct sleep research in applicable areas during the event. The night of the full moon, June 22nd, we'll get double drowsy power. We'll also get 3 times Helper Pokemon Sleep XP and a bonus 1,000 sleep points. And then on the other days, June 21st and 23rd, we'll get 1.5 times drowsy power, and Helper Pokemon will get double the sleep XP and will get a bonus 500 sleep points each night. So a grand total of 2,000 free sleep points. The details, it's all going to be the same stuff as before, so we're not going to go over that. We just care about the nitty gritty. When is it happening and what bonuses do we get? All right. So now that we've got Good Sleep Day 11 announced, let's check out the bundles, see if it's any different or if it's just more of the same. They typically are very similar. If I remember correctly, this is exactly what it was last time. 2 growth incense, 2 luck incense, 2 focus incense, and 9 great biscuits for 1,500 diamonds, which is not a bad deal. If you've got the diamonds and you want the great biscuits, I think that's really where most of the value comes from. The other incense are nice, but you save those typically for events and stuff, so it'll be good to have them. Again, if you've got the diamonds, it's not a bad deal because 9 great biscuits would normally cost you 1,800 diamonds, and then you get all the incense on top of that. It's not a bad deal. Focus incense, of course, doubles research XP. Growth incense doubles the XP your helper Pokemon gain from sleep. And the luck incense doubles the amount of dream shards you get from that sleep research. So that's good. Very good. All right, not too bad. A lot of news, but it actually went very quickly today. So a lot of good stuff coming. Particularly balance adjustments are the things that I really like to see because that does help to prolong the overall health of the game. We did get 46 community reports with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 that doubled up. Not bad at all. No level ups today. All right, let's see what we've got. I don't know why I was waiting on something to happen there. Nothing ever happens there. 212 sneaky snacking. I did see somebody had some candy. Good, perfect. You are the one that needed to have the candy. You know what? There's only one person here. No, there are 2. No skill trigger there. What about you? Nope, no skill trigger there. You? Skill trigger. Not gonna get much, but a little bit of corn is gonna be very helpful. So we'll go ahead and collect all that. There are some tails and corn. Nice. Never hurts to grab what you can. Okay, now let's make this little bitty breakfast. Snorlax is on a diet, so we're not feeding him too much. You know what? Let's just do another bean ham salad. Why not? It's probably gonna troll me and go extra tasty again. Wouldn't surprise me at all, honestly. No extra tasty today. Just the basic 1,645 bean ham salad. And let's go. Come on, buddy. which is going to be barely any gains on our strength bar, which is perfectly fine. Again, we are looking like we're going to end the week still within that Master 2 to Master 6 range that we want to be in to maximize our odds of finding a Totodile if I could just get slumbering sleep. But for those of you that don't know, I do actually track my actual sleep. I do not manipulate my sleep in any way other than putting the game to sleep while I get ready for bed so that it actually goes to sleep on time. Because if not, if I don't and I put it to sleep as I actually go to bed, then it counts all my tossing and turning as, oh, you're not asleep yet. So there have been times where it's told me, oh, it took you 2 hours to go to sleep. Bro, I was asleep within 30 minutes. So that's why I do that. And I know a lot of people have had that issue as well. So if you are having that issue, that's one way to do it. Put the phone to sleep while you're getting ready for bed, and then give it about 15 minutes after you do that, and you should be fine. So, all right. Outside of that, that is the only manipulation I do. The rest is my actual sleep data. So I just got to get lucky that my sleep is correct to give me the slumbering type. But we did pick up that EV incense for getting to Master 3. We'll have that whenever we're ready for it. I doubt I'm going to use that anytime soon. Definitely going to be saving that for... you know, there are no normal legendary Pokemon that would actually be super helpful for, outside of maybe Regigigas, but who knows when that's going to happen. That's probably years away at this point. So definitely not saving that for that kind of legendary. May just use it just to make sure we get some extra Pokemon for Suicune or something. But swapped out the team so that everybody's inventory should have been cleared. Why was it not? You know what? I bet you I goofed. I did goof. I even explained this in the video yesterday, and I forgot to do it myself. We set this team of researchers, which are all different Pokemon, and then we go back to this main screen to refresh. And now all those Pokemon are loaded up. Yep, there's Gengar and Raichu. Then we go back, and then we swap in the team that we're leveling up this week. And now that they're on the team, now we can back out. And they should be back on the ground with empty inventories. And their inventory was not counted as sneaky snacking. We didn't collect the ingredients. So we're all good. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. But that's going to be it for me today. Not a whole lot going on. Unfortunately, that Mime Jr. did not turn out well. But tons of news, good balance updates. Let me know in the comments what you think about those balance updates. Will you be using Pinsir and Heracross more often now that they are going to buff them? And if not, let me know why. And if you have been using them and you think they're fantastic already, also let us know, because if that's the case, then some of us have been missing out. And while you're down there, go ahead and click the link in the description to join the Discord. We've got a bunch of people over there that are having a lot of fun talking about Pokemon Sleep and other video games. And also hit that subscribe button, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And when we do, I will have that special video that we'll be releasing shortly after that. I am working on it actually today. So it's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun on that run, and I am excited to share it with you guys. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that I can do that. And that said, that's going to be it from me. Y'all have a good night, and until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 6 here on Cyan Beach hunting for Totodile. The hunt continues. Hopefully I can get Slumbering Sleep type to actually have a chance of getting a Totodile, but we are going to start off with 5,978 sneaky snacking, a small ingredient ticket for going to bed on time, and 100 sleep points for sleeping quite a bit longer than I should have, to be honest. Woke up quite a bit late today, but that puts us at 4,814 total sleep points. And for our daily lottery, we're going to pick up another small ingredient ticket. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Definitely getting some of those back. Not really super helpful at the moment, since we do have a couple of ingredient magnets picking up some ingredients for us in the background. So let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report, see if we can get the slumbering type, and try to find a Totodile. Session 315, we're looking at 10 hours and 12 minutes of sleep. Sounds about right. Definitely not looking like slumbering, though. 7% dozing, 56% snoozing, and 37% slumbering is pretty bad. but it is a balance type, so there's still a chance. All right, hopefully we're gonna get right. Well, no, hopefully. We know we're gonna get right at what we want. We're gonna get about 33.8 million. It's gonna give us our 8 spawns, a lot of 1 stars, so decent potential of getting us Totodile there. A top belly Golduck, that's a weird one. It's also a brand new one, so that's good. All right, so let's see, what else did we get? Looks like no Totodile again. Totodile seems to be very, very rare, just like Cyndaquil. So maybe it's just the Johto starters that are just really hard to find for some reason. But I feel like Chikorita shows up all the time. But I bet you if I was hunting for Chikorita, we would never find one. But we did get a Krogunk, an Ekans, a Caterpie, a Weepinbell, a Diglett, a Jigglypuff, and a Slowpoke, and of course the Atop Belly Golduck. Which will be nice if I decide to actually use the Golduck on my team for the Suicune event. Which I might. With the extra 50% bonus towards the skill triggers, if they do that again, it may actually be really worthwhile, even if we don't have Golduck's main skill at maximum level. Just the sheer number of triggers that are going to happen might actually be worth it. But all right, is anybody hungry? Golduck's hungry. Golduck wants to go home with us. Is there anything else that I even want to try to catch, honestly? I mean, we could use a better Krogunk, I suppose. But everything else... everything else, we have good ones. I mean, I don't want to catch a Weepinbell. I'd rather catch a Bellsprout. Honestly, you know what? Let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and get the Golduck. Go ahead and give me the critical capture, because I know that's going to be my luck. I'm going to get it. Hey, I didn't get it here. That's surprising. Let's just go ahead and take the Golduck home. We'll see how it turns out. It could be perfect. You never know. But yeah, could be a perfect Golduck. We'll just have to see. But for now, as far as the candy, you know what? I think sending out some Psyduck candy is probably going to be the best choice. Probably would help quite a few people getting ready for the Suicune event. 2,000 XP and 3,500 Dream Shards, about 5,500 Dream Shards in total. Not bad. We should have a pretty decent supply of Dream Shards now with how things are going now that I have hit maximum level. But our Golduck is going to be level 20 and Quirky. Quirky is neutral, so that could not be super great. We're going to get Coco and then Apple. That's a lot of apples for a skill specialist. Very surprised that you get that many. I figured it'd be 1, 2, 3. Huh. All right. Works for me, though. Skill level up S is very good. Inventory up L, also very good for a skill specialist. Helping speed M, very good for a skill specialist. Skill trigger S, also very good. And ingredient finder S. Outside of the nature, this is actually a near perfect Golduck. The only thing that would be better, and I don't even know if it's really necessary given Golduck's high base skill trigger rate. I was going to say the only thing that would be better is if skill trigger was at level 25 instead of 75. But honestly, that may not matter. Ingredient finder S at level 100 is really the only thing about this that is not beneficial. And it's not even a bad thing necessarily. But the nature is very, very not helpful. It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't help. I'm actually kind of surprised that the expected skill count rating is this low. Maybe it's, well, no, I suppose that makes sense because it's not comparing it to just a total number per day. It's comparing it to the skill trigger output of all possible Golduck combinations. So that makes sense, I guess. Level 75, we're going to see it jump pretty, yeah, 78. And then level 100, probably not going to do much from there. But let's just see at level 55, since that's the current skill cap, 4 times per day, 4.3. So if we get the same bonus where we get 50% extra skill trigger rate on water types, that's going to turn into a 6.45 times per day on average, I think, if I've done my head math correctly. So that's pretty good. 6.45 times, and skill level up S, it's already level 2. We could get it to level 3, and then potentially getting another free level from the event would put it at level 4. So we're looking at probably about an extra 12 to 14,000 per day, and that's before any multipliers are added to it from the event that we could have, or from area bonus. So that's pretty substantial. This again, I'm very surprised that it's this low. I thought with this particular combination, I mean, I guess we could have had skill trigger S and M, and that would have helped, but just a little surprised. I thought this would be closer to around 80 or so, maybe even 90. But let's see, let's turn skill trigger S off and let's give it skill trigger M. I don't, you know what? Let me see. I don't think this is going to affect it at all at level 10. So currently at 58, it should still be 58. Yeah. The skill level doesn't actually matter. So this is, it's going pretty much the same. I expect the big difference is going to be right here. Probably going to jump up to about here, maybe. Maybe? Maybe? Come on. Come on. I did goof just a little bit. I should have. Yay, looky there. I was right, 94. So that does make a huge difference. And then at level 75, with that subskill seed investment, we're looking at 5.5 skill triggers per day on average. If we only invest the 1 at level 75, which of course we're a long way away from that, so that doesn't really matter. At level 55, if we were to, I mean, it's still the same number, 4.3, but we would just be at a higher level, which we already looked at a minute ago. So we don't need to go through all that again. I don't know. This gold duck is pretty interesting. I need to compare it to my Psyduck, because the Psyduck is 98, 99, something like that. I'm not going to save this in the box just yet. I'm going to let this calculation finish. Never mind, the calculation is finished. PR 65. So now I can change this back, and then I can save it. Skill level up and skill trigger S. Now we can save it. Level 20. There we go. Cool. I'm going to compare that to the other one, because I think the other one has a much better... It does have a better rating. The question is, what does it actually amount to whenever we get it used in practice? Skill trigger M to start with is a huge buff. Helping speed, we would need 1 subskill seed there, possibly 2 if we get unlucky and it goes to the inventory up first. And then we've got skill level up as the capstone ability at level 100. Very similar, very, very similar subskills, but also a neutral nature. Level 100, we've got the Psyduck loaded in. Let's load it in as a Golduck though. As a Golduck, and let's assume best case scenario, we only need to use 1 subskill seed. Level 100. How does this stack up comparatively? Already way better. Yeah, way better already. Having skill trigger early on is what makes all the difference. Another 527 sneaky snacking while we were gone. A couple of candies too. Any new news? I'm gonna let this run in the background while we go ahead and move on. It looks like we have no new news, which to be expected given how much news we had yesterday. And then we've got 44 community reports with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 the doubled up. Very nice. Good odds there. No level ups. That's all right. Our calculation is almost done. Just waiting on level 100, which won't affect it much, but it will be a nice little touch. There's a few ginger in there that we can pick up before we swap out. Actually, you know what? I think collecting just that one bear. Oh, only meant to get one, but ultimately not that big a deal. Decent amount of fiery herbs. Want to try to avoid as many dragon berries as possible because those are pretty strong. Can I get it? Not quite. Those berries were just in the way. All right. Ultimately, though, it is Saturday. Doubt we're gonna get past Master 6 by collecting all this stuff. So really, I suppose I could just stop being careful. We're not gonna get above Master 6. That's not worth collecting though. Unfortunately, no. Oops. Well, picked up those berries by accident. Leeks. That's what I need. That is what I need. Hopefully, there's a few of them. Only 2, it looked like. Nope, 3 of them. I don't think that was enough though. Yeah, our old Psyduck is a PR of 95 as a Golduck. So let's see. Level 55 is what we're really worried about. Yeah, 5.4 already. And all we need is, best case scenario, only 1 subskill seed. Not enough leaks for what I need to do. I need 15. So unfortunately, we will not be making the ninja salad today either. I may, just out of funsies, I may go ahead and throw Doug Trio on the team just for a couple hours to pick up those leeks that we need, and then Gengar for the mushrooms, because it doesn't seem like we can rely on Ingredient Magnet to make it happen. So we may do that. And then once they get what we need, then I can swap them back out and make sure we get the XP on the Pokemon that we actually want the XP on. That would be a good call. All right. 2,056 strength. Oh man, we're really cooking now. But yeah, back to this Golduck comparison. As much as I like that second Golduck, I guess the skills were just not in a great place or a great order to really make it worthwhile. So yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get rid of it. I forgot just how good this Psyduck actually was. Got very lucky catching this early on. Skill 90. Oh wow, it's been so long, it's actually a different rating. 95 now. Cool. So that's good. The only thing we need to do is invest in it if we're gonna use it. We've got plenty of time to invest in it. It's only 40 candy to evolve it. We got plenty of candies too, so not really that worried about it. And since we have this Golduck that we're sending to the professor now, we actually get quite a bit more candies. Cocoa apples. Actually, it's got a slightly better ingredient spread too for the long term, so that works out. Cool. All right, well, there's 7 more Psyduck candy. Nice. Anyway, let's get back to our team management. We are going to swap over to this team real fast. Go ahead and back out. And then now that they are loaded up, we can go back and swap back to our other team. Use this team. And let's see. You know, Blastoise is going to be pretty easy to replace later on because he's right here at the top of the screen. Which of you has the leaks? It's you. And then Eevee also going to be close to the top. Closest, I guess. Gengar, where are you? I need the good Gengar. Yeah, you're the one. Cool. All right, so we'll swap them in on the team. We already have the other ingredients we need to make the ninja salad. We'll have the Gengar and the Doug Trio long enough to get the ingredients we need, and then we can make that tomorrow morning. Yeah, all said and done. been a pretty productive episode. Figured out just how good that old Psyduck is. Actually better than what I thought it was. Gonna have a pretty decent skill trigger rate if we bring it into the Suicune event. And honestly, hold on, let me pull this back up again. Right here, this 5.404. I didn't even think about it with the bonuses when I was talking about it earlier. With the bonuses, if we get that 50% bonus to water type main skill triggers, then really we're looking at 7. No, it's even higher than that. I think it's 8.1 skill triggers per day. Let me see. Let me get the calculator out on this one. I want to make sure I have this one correct. Let's see. 5.404 times 1.5. Yeah, 8.106 skill triggers per day. So that means if I were to just check it evenly, I'd have to check the game every 4 hours. Right? Did I do that math right? That's hard. Why is that hard? Why am I struggling with 24 divided by 8? Wow. 3 hours, not 4 hours. The hell am I talking about? Anyway, yeah, every 3 hours I would have to check the game if we were to break that up. And of course, can't do that while I'm sleeping. So hopefully most of those skill triggers would happen while I was awake. Unfortunately, that does mean that we would miss some while we sleep, but could be pretty substantial. Especially given if we get the 50% boost, or no, sorry. That's not taking into account the area bonus, which would likely be 60% because it's almost certainly going to be on green grass again. And that's if we don't have a 65% bonus by that point. We won't have any skill level ups, but we will get the free one from the evolution. So that would put it at 2. And then 3 if we get the same +1 like we did for the Entei event for water types. Let's see, this is charge strength S with number to number. This one. So at level 3, not a lot, but when you multiply it by 8, it could be a lot. The problem is that gamble. You could get a lot of low rolls, could get a lot of high rolls, but I think that's where having the higher levels, probably main skill level 6 is where it's really a big deal, because then you have that strength floor of 1,000. So maybe we do want to invest a couple of main skill seeds in this if it's something we're going to use long term. But then the question becomes, how often am I going to use it, and am I going to use it often enough to justify main skill seeds invested in a Psyduck? That is the question. Because we're looking at a decent amount. Let's see, level 3. What's the median there? Drawing a blank. Drawing a big old blankety blank. 1570, 393. So let's do 400 to 1600 just to get even numbers. So halfway between that is gonna be 1,000. So on average, let's say we get 1,000, multiply that by 60%, and then multiply that by, let's see, it's 8.1 times, but let's be realistic and say we can only collect 6, because 2 of those are going to be while we're asleep. That's an extra 9,600 per day, only at level 3, and that's if we don't invest any main skill seeds into it, but something to look at. I don't know for sure if I'm going to use Psyduck on my team, or Golduck, really, I should say. I don't know if I'm going to use Golduck on my team for the Suicune event, but for those of you that do have more main skill seeds, or maybe you have skill level up earlier on, this may actually be something worthwhile. Could be a significant investment. And also, if you're going to plan to do desserts like I am, cocoa and apples help a lot with that. Maybe not necessarily for certain ingredients, but cocoa and apples are very prevalent in the dessert recipes, so maybe that will actually help as well. And yeah, just something to think about. Maybe Golduck is going to be a good spot on your is going to have a good spot on your team. But I have rambled on enough about Golduck today. Did not expect to talk about Golduck this much, only because that one showed up in our sleep research. Again, still no Totodile, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. That said, that is going to be it for me today, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying my content. Most of you guys are subscribed, but there's still about 40% that aren't subscribed. And you may think you are subscribed. YouTube's pretty good about showing you my videos if you watch them every day, because it's like, hey, you clearly enjoy this stuff. You don't need to subscribe. We'll just show it to you anyway. But subscribing does really help the channel. And while you're at it, go ahead and join us in the Discord. I will have the link in the description, so go ahead and join us on the Discord. There's quite a few people there already. We've had a bunch of interesting chats about Pokemon Sleep and some other video games. So if you want to hang out with us, go ahead and join us in the Discord. And with that, that's going to be it for me today. So thank you. Y'all have a good night. And until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 7 here on Cyan Beach, trying to hunt down a Totodile. Not really having a whole lot of luck this week. Barely. I think we only got slumbering one time. We did get balanced twice, but so far, not a single Totodile has shown up. We are going to get 6,440 sneaky snacking, which is going to push us into Master, I think that's 4. Yep, Master 4. Still within that range of Master 2 to 6 that we've been trying to hang out in all week. So that's good. If we get slumbering type, we do have a pretty solid chance of finding a Totodile, but that's a big if. We are going to grab another 100 sleep points, puts us at 4,914 in total. And for our daily lottery, we're going to pick up some biscuits would be nice. Hey, there we go. 1 Poke Biscuit. Good. That's for the biscuit that we spent earlier this week. So now we are getting back on track. Definitely probably going to need to start saving some biscuits for the summer festival. We're going to see how that goes. But first, we're going to jump into this sleep report and see if we got slumbering. I'm not really super hopeful just because of how things have gone with my sleep lately. But 9 hours, 19 minutes of sleep. Did get to bed a little bit late. Yeah, snoozing seems to be the main thing that I get. I get a lot of snoozing, and I have for the last couple of weeks. Not really too sure what's changed, but anyway, 14% dozing, 58% snoozing, and 28% slumbering is going to be snoozing type, of course. So no Totodile today. That is unfortunate. But we are still within that Master 2 to 6 range, so that should give us a decent chance of finding... does Cyndaquil spawn here? I can't remember if Cyndaquil spawns here or not. It would be nice if it does, but I am, of course, in the moment drawing an absolute blank. We did get a 4-star and a bunch of 1 and 2, so maybe we got a really good 4-star. No, just a Jigglypuff, not a really good 4-star. Actually, I don't even know why I thought that. I'm so not used to being in this low rank anymore that I was like, oh, they must be really high rare spawns that are all 1-stars. I didn't even consider the fact that I'm in a lower rank on purpose, so of course they're not higher rare spawns that are all 1-stars. Like, I'm not gonna get a Tyranitar. Ooh, I did get a rare spawn though, Kangaskhan, really? Anyway, I was just saying they're not gonna be like Tyranitar and stuff, but a Kangaskhan is still nice. I do need a good one. I don't know what I would use it for, but I would like to have a good one. Ultimately, I would like to have a really good version of every Pokemon. So getting a good Kangaskhan would help further that goal. That's kind of the point that I'm at, where I just want a good version of everything. PR 90 and above of every Pokemon would be nice to have just for my own satisfaction. So you know what? Let's go ahead and let's give a bonus biscuit to Kangaskhan, and we'll see what happens. Only a +3, not a big hit. However, we could be cheeky. Our Entei biscuits have now converted to Great Biscuits as of a couple of days ago. So, you know what? Maybe we just throw 1. We'd be a little bit cheeky. This is really just because I want to. It's not a smart thing to do. It didn't work. But if we get a hungry Kangaskhan next time, we can for sure take it home. Unfortunately, not taking it home today. Nothing else really too fantastic. Another Eevee would have been nice, but not a high priority. And of course, we're going to send out Kangaskhan candy, since it is a rare spawn, just to help people stock up on some Kangaskhan candy. It's not much, but that 1 or 2 candy does add up. And we're going to pick up about 4,500 Dream Shards as well. Not too bad of a day. I'm kind of curious what my Dream Shards are at now. I haven't used any in a while. Grab that candy and let's go check. Do we have any new news? We don't have any new news, kind of not surprised. We've got a lot coming up, so it's not surprising, but we did get 44 community reports with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that doubled up. Not bad at all. Not bad. No level ups today. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. And we are actually going to make breakfast today. I don't. Well, that's super surprising. I was going to say I'm probably not going to collect from pretty much anybody, but how did we get all herb rolls? I am definitely collecting that. Yeah, gonna collect all herbs, and then definitely gonna collect from you, especially since there's more leeks in there. We do want all the ingredients that we can get just to be set up for later on. More leeks. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, well. 488 ingredients so far. We can easily snag those 2 ginger. Somehow got 2 more berries, but whatever. Not that big a deal. We are still not going to go outside of that Master 6 range, and we still do have 1 more try to get a Totodile tomorrow with our sleep research. Just got to hope that I can somehow get slumbering sleep type. Let's see, for this recipe, we are going to make something new. This will be the last salad recipe, and then we'll have made all the recipes currently available in the game once we make this. Let's see, how much ginger? 11 ginger and 15 soybeans. We're not going to put anything else in, just what we need to make this dish. There it is. Do not add more. We do not want this to push us outside of that Master 6 range. 0, huh? Well, that was weird. Am I just losing it? I feel like even if you only put in the basic ingredients, it still tells you how much they're worth. Right? Or maybe I'm just losing it and haven't really paid attention to that screen. But 14,637. I caught very off guard by that. And our first ninja salad is level 8, and that is the last of all the dishes. No more new recipes until they give us some new ones, which I feel like we're probably going to get some new recipes for the 1-year anniversary. I kind of feel like that's going to be a good time to add new recipes, possibly new ingredients. A new set of starters would actually be pretty nice for the 1-year anniversary. I feel like that's a good time to bring in a big group of new Pokemon, not just one at a time like they have been doing. I mean, if we think about it logistically, if they do 1 Pokemon at a time per event, how long is it going to take to get through all of the Pokemon? I mean, you're looking at over 700 that are still left to be put into the game. That's a lot of events, and we could spare throwing in 10 to 20 Pokemon at a time here and there, once or twice a year, maybe 3 times a year, throw in 10 to 20 Pokemon. I think they could do that and not really hurt anything. But we are going to grab 20 free diamonds for making the final recipe, and our dishes are now complete. We have nothing left to cook until hopefully we get something new next month, but we'll just have to wait and see what they're going to do. I actually did that. No, I didn't do that out of order. I'm just losing my mind because it's Sunday and I'm ready to go back to sleep. I just want to see what we get tomorrow and hopefully get slumbering and get a Totodile. But before we can do that, I do need to go ahead and clear out the inventory for everybody. Let's swap these out. I could swap them in just to get some ingredients. Maybe. You know what? Let's go take a look at our pantry. Let's see what our pantry is looking like. Because we do need to back out to the main screen anyway, just to get the team reset locked in. Let's go see. Let's see how things are looking for next week. Potatoes, tomatoes in a good place. Herbs are looking all right. Corn's pretty bad. Cocoa and milk is looking pretty good. Sausage is looking pretty terrible. You know what? I think I might swap them in for the day. Maybe. I don't know. We've also got another week of just chilling before we have an event, so maybe not. Maybe we'll just hang out, see how things go tomorrow morning with what recipes we get for wherever we are next week. So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just go ahead and finish this week just chilling out with the salad boys, letting them gain some more XP. Might as well. Yeah, so far a pretty chill week. Unfortunately, have not found what we were hunting for. I feel like this is a very common thing for me to say. It's a very common refrain, as it were, that I go somewhere to hunt for something specific and I can almost never find it. Double corn stuffle. Onyx actually started it way back in the day when Onyx was first introduced in the game. I think we spent 2, maybe 3 weeks on Topalo trying to find an Onyx and saw only one, I think, maybe 2, and then have only seen 1 or 2 since then. Cyndaquil we tried hunting for before the Entei event, didn't really find it all that much. We did find it during fire type week, but when we tried to hunt for Cyndaquil specifically, didn't find it. I don't think I may have seen 1. And then now Totodile, same story. And then double corn stuffle as well. So it seems like every time I try to hunt for something specific, I can never find it. And I'm hoping that it's just me and it's not a common issue for everybody. But from what I've heard in comments and online, it does seem like a lot of people are having this issue. It would be nice if we had an easier way to hunt the Pokemon that we are specifically looking for, and that's kind of, I feel like, the problem with having the system designed the way it is, to where you just don't have a chance of finding what you're looking for if you don't randomly get the sleep type that you need to find them, or, you know, essentially manipulate the game into getting the sleep type you want. So, I mean, to me, I don't manipulate my sleep data because I think it's more interesting to just see what I get, but it is kind of also disappointing when it feels like I'm locked out of getting the things that I want when I'm, you know, playing the game quote unquote as intended, which this isn't a knock on anybody that manipulates the game. This is not a competitive game by any means. It's all your experience. You play the game however you want. If you want to manipulate, that does not bother me one bit. But for me, it's just more interesting to not. But it also is disheartening when you just can't find what you're looking for just because of the way the system works. And I don't know what they could do to fix it. I don't know if there is a, you know, fix necessarily. But hopefully they can make some changes that will make it easier for us to hunt specific Pokemon. The incense system is pretty nice, but the fact that you get a random, that is not the button I meant to click, that you get a random incense at the beginning of the week is kind of ruins that a bit. Like, for example, we got, what was it, Eevee? Yeah, it was an Eevee incense that I randomly got this week. Maybe what they could do to kind of help balance this out, and this is just me throwing ideas out on off the cuff. At the beginning of the week, instead of just giving us a random incense, maybe give us a choice of 3 random incense and say, hey, these are the 3 incense you get this week. Which one would you like to go for? Because I feel like if they told us, hey, you can just pick whatever instance you want, it might be too easy to find specific Pokemon, and we don't want it to where you can just find them immediately. We do want a little bit of a hunt, but we just don't want the hunt to feel like it's completely unfruitful and every time you try, you can't find what you want. So maybe the happy medium is give us 3 random incense at the beginning of the week, and then let us pick which one of those 3 we want to go for. Now, yeah, some weeks, just due to RNG, we're going to get 3 random incense that we don't want any of them. But at least we have a choice of which one we do want, and we can pick one of those 3 that, even if they're not what we want in the moment, we could be like, you know what? I don't need it right now, but this will be good in the future. Let me go ahead and pick this one. So maybe that's something they could do, and it would also give us a little bit more control over these missions. Granted, not much because it's only the one mission of getting to Master 3 for the incense, or for me, Master 3. I think Master 1 is the lowest for the incense if you're just starting out. But it would be nice to give us a little bit more control over the game, especially when we're trying to hunt for a specific Pokemon, so we could be like, yeah, that's the one I want. I want to go for Stuffle. You know, let me hunt and try to work towards a Stuffle incense this week. That, I think, would be really interesting. And who knows? Maybe there's a better idea than what I came up with. Like I said, I'm just throwing that out there right off the cuff, so that may be a terrible idea, and maybe I haven't thought about it completely, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that could be interesting. But that said, before I ramble on for another 25 minutes and talk about this game at length, which I could do, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy my videos. Go ahead and join us in the Discord in the description box down below. I have the link there. We've already got a bunch of cool people over there, and we're adding more and more every day. So if you want to come hang out with us, talk about Pokemon or any other video games, come and join us over there. Make sure we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I just stumbled all over everything there because I'm terrible at this job. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be just getting it all out. No problem. Anyway, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I do have a special in mind. I've got a video that I'm working on in the background that I will be releasing whenever we do get to 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead and help me get there. Help me hit that goal. And yeah, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for all your support. And y'all have a good night. And until next time, later, dudes.